problem.
Wow, we're muted. I was just saying, welcome in, everyone. That's all I said. I said we're gonna be starting new characters here. So me and Rook here. Rook is our designer. He did stuff like character creation, NPCs, and models and stuff of that sort. A lot of design work. So yeah, we're gonna be starting new characters. We're not sure what Oh, gotta mute myself. Oopsie, there we go. Okay. So what race are you gonna be playing, Mr. Rook?
I'm gonna be a human.
So I'm definitely not playing Saiyan because I've already played a Saiyan. That it's pointless. So I'm leaning towards Arcosian or Majin. I think Arcosian because I've always been a huge fan. Like I played Arcosian quite a couple of times when I was playing DBC back in the good old days. 2017, I think, dude. Ages ago. I think Arcosian. Start is this boy. What the heck? Where's my body? Speedrun world record. I found a bug in 2 minutes 40 seconds. Nice. Screenshot this. Put it on my notes. Give me a second, guys.
We're gonna hit Frieza, and this guy's gonna just start hitting me instead.
Alright, so I think I'm gonna go with the... I kind of like the cooler body type. This one's cool too, but I think the cooler one. I think I'm a fan of the cooler body type here. It'd be like just 6 foot, you know. Wow, what is going on with Arcosian? This is embarrassing. Character creation worked, I shit you not, yesterday for me, but sure. You seem schizophrenic here.
Guys, it wasn't like this.
Man,
I didn't do it.
It wasn't me, man. It must have been the other guy.
Oh, whoops, that's skin color. Just made myself red.
Don't do that. This is actually incredibly difficult to create my character the way this is. I'm gonna riot. I think it might just be Arcosians. Maybe. We definitely gotta have the underwear.
I don't have that.
Yeah, I'm not insane then. We're gonna do some socks. I hope it's only the body page too. I actually don't think I'm gonna do socks. Arcosians look a little odd with socks. Horns, man. It worked for me 20 minutes ago. What if a relog will fix it?
I don't know, maybe it's all in your head.
It probably is, man. There, yeah, let me save my character real quick. Yes, let me do that. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm gonna restart the game real quick. I feel like I'm like way too close to the screen. I'm like sitting here slouched forward. I don't know why. I guess like the new overlay, you know? Last podcast, I was looking back and we had just started with like game capture. There was not even webcam. Webcam came in the last 4 episodes, I remember. And then eventually I put a overlay around it, and then the chat. I think the chat was the last episode we had it. Wrong server. I don't want to be on US 1. US 2. We're back.
Yeah, US 1 smells weird.
It does, dude. Look at this guy. Dude, he has a mullet. The mullet. Okay, let me... There we are. We're back. The presets work. I'm a big fan of these kind of goat kind of horns. This is also like the first time I've streamed in this house, even though I've been here 2 years now. So that's funny, because the podcast ended like right after GT came out, so I had moved shortly after that. So that was interesting, but here we are, live streaming.
Yeah, it's got a nice cozy basement I can work out of.
Dude. I don't think there's a basement in this building, but if there was, you know. Do I want to color the horns? I don't think so. I think that's a little cringe. That's a bad feature. I like the black horns. Maybe like a really dark gray. Oh, Apples is in the chat.
Nice.
Dude, I love the Goku eyes on the Arcosian. Not what I love. I was saying I love the way we did Arcosians. Dude, Arcosians are easily one of the most complicated races we have in terms of visuals. They are, without a doubt, the most complicated and like nuanced race because they took so long. They were truly pain. We were suffering, and by we I mean Rook, because I just had to put in the little code and stuff. He had to like go crazy.
I had to get told no a lot.
Yeah. Well, have good ideas.
Do it again. 30 times.
You do it, but better. I'm not sure. Oh, I forgot to color my Arcosian's body. Oopsie. Kind of skipped a step here. I'm thinking... Ew. The Frieza colors on the cooler body type feel wrong. Kind of like hidden, you know, you gotta like drag the slider for it to kind of pop up. So I'll give you that.
It's only light saturation too, so it's like sand hair.
All right, so I'm thinking I like the dark aesthetic. I've always liked the like edgy looking Arcosians, so I'm gonna go for this. This is my first time actually creating a character. Okay, that's a lie. I was gonna say creating a character I'm gonna play, but I've played on the test server in the past, so that's a lie.
Never touched this game before in my life, guys.
Never played Dragon Ball Apollo in my life. Yeah, you definitely do not want to make your bean color solid black. That looks awful. There's definitely some tweaks that could be made with metal. It was a bit of like, it was kind of just a broad generalization the way we did metal. There's definitely some tweaks that we could do to make it a little bit better, but you know, when you get into the conversation of like, this specific color looks weird on Arcosian, it kind of gets to a point where it's like, you know, so many like nuances and so much complicatedness makes it really hard, really challenging to get it perfect. Blue is cool. Like a raccoon with that. But I kind of like that though. Dark face. Love to have the metal form its own color. I think that would help a lot. Like, I think beyond what I had first said right there, I think just letting you guys actually pick your metal color would go a lot farther. But that's with a lot of forms, you know, like letting you have, I was talking to this with someone last night. Letting you guys actually have unique hair for each race would probably go each form would probably go a long way in letting you be more, you know, your character.
I don't think we were ever against it. We just lacked time.
No, we were never against it. It was just way too much time. Like, way too much work for the time. I'm gonna put the chat somewhere that's not all the way over here for me, because I keep having to look all over to the left. I have it on the right. Let me see. Does OBS look good? Can I just read OBS chat? Yes, I can. All right. Hopefully I don't spend too long on character creation, but it's okay. Yeah, but if you guys have any questions, you know, the usual way this whole podcast thing goes is just ask us some questions, and if we, you know, update questions, whatever it is, we'll probably answer them. It depends. You know, sometimes we want to keep stuff confidential, but we're willing to answer a lot of questions. I kind of like the yellow Arcosian Rook. Like, yellow face. Ew. Ew. I made a mistake. Made my exoskeleton yellow. I'm struggling here.
Just alternate yellow and black, be a bumblebee.
Yeah, I mean, I can always get a reincarnate token later. If I end up not liking it. I'll just hand myself a $5 bill. Let's just avoid the whole tax thing in the middle and just, you know. No, I'll just get it from an event.
Yeah, let me just run over to the government and just toss them 20%.
Literally. No, I actually like tax evasion. Big fan. For legal
What's your
reasons,
rate?
that's a joke.
Did you raise your dex stat legally?
Oh no, what is happening on this page? Different hairstyle for Super Saiyan 4 would be neat, or some preset. Yeah, well, that's actually already a thing. If you open your action menu and go to the last page, that's annoying. If you open your action menu and go to the last page, there's an option called Super Saiyan 4 preset hair or something of that sort, where if you turn it on, it's on by default, you get Super Saiyan 4 Goku hair. If you turn it off, you get your hair, like Super Saiyan 2 vaguely. You get that kind of hair. So it's like actually already a thing. That's cool. Face scarring do I want? Some of the scarring doesn't look great on Arcosians. We definitely tried very hard to make every face scar look as good as possible. No, the nose bridge scar is always a good one. I like that right there. The scarring intensity needs to be cranked up for Arcosians. Maybe. Alright, what eye colors do we want? Ooh. Something cool about just black eyes, but I also think some kind of blue would be nice, right? Like a nice ocean blue there. Something like making shit up. Perhaps maybe yellow. No, yellow is a little much. Red is obviously kind of the generic Arcosian route, which looks scary, but I don't really want to look scary. I say that as like I made a dark color theme Arcosian. I think the ship from not looking scary has sailed, to be honest, dude.
Wow.
Mouth color. Probably just... I actually don't know if I want lips on this character. Arcosians kind of feel incomplete without lips, though, if I'm going to be honest. I feel like it's almost necessary. I'm not going to do one color eye, despite my edginess wanting to. Probably just a nice gray. Very, very, almost not even noticeable. That's the base hair. I was thinking more of a specific hairstyle. Yeah. I always like to say pretty much anything is doable. You know, it's all within reason. It's more of just like the hair code is so big. If you've ever messed with the Jin's hair salon, the hair codes, they're like this entire long string, and it makes it really challenging to store. Like, it's not challenging. I can store it. We already do it for the one hair code. It's just when you start talking about, let's give Super Saiyan 4 a unique one. Let's give... Just, it spirals, and then it becomes, you have 4 unique hair codes. The hair code, for context, is at least 4 times bigger than the character creation code. Because the character creation code is just a bunch of simple numbers for each option. The hair code is simple numbers for each option, but you have 56 pieces of hair with, like, 6 options each? 7 options, something like that. There's, like, 400... variables in the hair code. It's very weird and complicated, but very cool. The way Jin did it was actually very good. The hair in DBC is one of the coolest things, easily. All right, I think I'm almost done with this character here. How about yourself, Rook?
I've been done.
Let me look at you. Where are you? Professor Unusual. Oh, hell yeah. Dude, I'm so excited for Arkoji. Oh my gosh, he looks cool. Okay. Wait, did you ever fix this mask?
Which one?
Poopy, stinky designer.
Probably. The question is, did you put it in?
Oh, my golden looks kind of vile. I chose yellow for my color scheme. Have to make the boss call and make some changes to that once I get there. I'll have to change how Arkojian looks, you know? I don't make the rules. Let me see if I can life hack my aura, because I actually think I might know the solution to this. No, I lied. It's gonna be like a normal height Arkojian. I'm gonna link the podcast again. Hopefully, I don't want to be bothering anyone, but I just want people to know that we're podcasting. I want people to come in and ask questions, have a grand old time.
I know. Please don't talk to me. I'm scared.
Like, honestly, I'm not gonna link the podcast again. It was literally, I could still see it in the server chat. I'm not gonna be annoying about this. Yeah, but if you guys have any questions, you know, feel free to ask about combat update. I don't know why that slipped my mind. Started thinking about something else mid-sentence. Should I ping in the Discord? Is that a thing? Or happy birthday party, Frostburn, or birthday if today's actually your birthday. Happy birthday, either way.
Happy
Yeah,
Bara.
good time celebrating. Happy Bara, yo! I got a lot of them. Hold up. There's always a capybara within arm's reach around me. I have a fucking poster of a... Let me show you. I mean, you know what? You asked. The lady got this for me. Beautiful gift. Beautiful. It's just sitting up here on the shelf right next to the desk. Don't get much better than that. Little guy here. I have like... Dude, I have a... Anytime I see like a capybara plush, I'm getting it. Or someone's getting it for me. It's not optional, you know. I'm walking out with a capybara plush. Should I ping in the Discord for the podcast? Didn't I talk about doing that and then say like I'm gonna set up a role so people can get pinged? Yeah. Oh, we already have podcast alerts. Where do you sign up for that? Sorry, give me one moment, guys. I'm gonna get this figured out real quick so we can do something. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do at here. Or I don't know. I kind of want people to just kind of join on their own fruition. I don't really want to harass people with a podcast. Like, it's exciting, but it's not like super exciting. It's just a dude playing the game. So
I think maybe just notify everyone for this first one, and then
be like, hey, go sign up for pod. Yeah, that was the idea.
Yeah.
But I did also ping last night with the link, technically. Eh, who cares? One moment while I type this out, guys. The first episode of the podcast is live now. Drop in and ask some questions you have about the server, upcoming updates, and anything in general. Or apologies for the interruption. I should have done this earlier. I kind of forgot.
As long as you know.
Oh, I forgot to actually link the podcast in the post. My brain was like, the podcast is right up there. How's everyone in the chat doing today, though? You guys all doing good? Having a good Saturday? He is just a chill capybara. This is factual. There we go. There's the ping. There's the harassment. 17 people here. Welcome on, guys. I'm glad to see this many people. What am I gonna name the character? Oh man, I would like name him Chill Guy, but then that will be dated in like a week. You know, that meme will be like gone. Huh?
Aren't most of your memes?
That was rude and offensive, and I don't appreciate that. A little hurt by this. Very tired after last night's grind. I feel ya. Apples in the chat was grinding spook the entire time we were yapping. Choosing your character's name. This is difficult. Whoever added the character name thing, I don't like that guy. Welcome on board, everyone who just joined. Hope you guys don't mind the ping. As I said, I'm not gonna ping every time because I know pings are annoying and all that fun stuff. Might is for the gold colors. That's not a bad idea. It's Arcosian. Chill is actually a nice... Yo! They're cooking in the chat. They said Chill is actually a nice name because I'm an Arcosian.
Icebox.
Yeah.
Yellow snow.
Alright, wait. Look at the name I typed on the stream. Yellow... What? I can't even say it. Yellow Snow. Yelusno. It just seems like gibberish, though. Like... Just throw a H in there. Yellow Snow. Icebox isn't bad.
See? I know what I'm talking about.
I think I would do Icebox. I kind of like Icebox. Yellow Snow is funny and all, but I think Icebox. I think that actually... Oh, oopsie.
That's fine. They're both my inventions.
We can always change it later, you know, the reincarnate. But banana beater. Alright, here we are with my created character, and I'm in Vanish. Look at me, I'm beautiful. Look at that, I have a first-person hand, too. Dude, hold up. Let's go, we should, you know what? We should go fight. Right off the bat. I have 126 million TP. 1 second, let me get rid of that.
Cheater.
Hold on, let me get rid of that. I cannot show you my hacks on screen. Did the audio just restart? It sure as hell did. That's annoying. Background track restarted. Did it? Is it even playing? Is there background music? I can't hear. Oh, it's playing. Okay. Of course I could do that, but I do it a different way. The name is in here, and you can see it above your head. Wrong button. Like this. You don't have access to this button, but you know, just... Yeah.
I don't think JRMC TP would work. I think TP is our own system. I don't...
No, it still works. We still fundamentally use DBC TP for now. Until I just decide to move the integer over. It's not exactly a challenging thing. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it is not my motto, actually. Let's go to PvP and fight, dude. We should fight after every saga. Every time we beat a saga boss, we should fight. We should scrap. Also, I wanna lay down some ground rules. Let me not stand here and get my ass beat. I wanna lay down some ground rules for everyone. In terms of like how we're gonna be playing. We're not gonna be using any kits because obviously I have like every donor kit, but we're not gonna be using any kits aside from maybe the daily one and maybe some member kits once we think we've progressed far enough to have had that in terms of playtime. But otherwise, yeah, we'll probably just be using no kits, stuff like that. Just trying to keeping it very, very free to play orientated. So this is kind of just experiencing it as if we're not some whatever. Are you gonna come to PvP, sir?
I don't know where it is.
Warp PvP. This guy's a poser. He's on my team and he hasn't even played the server. Scam.
What? I don't interact with people.
Look at you, dude. Funny looking guy. Make sure you charge up. You're at 55. Oh, why is my... What the heck? Oh, was I technically reincarnated on this character? What the heck? Where is this even from? Whose data is this? I've never played on my slot 3. I'm gonna remove my data. This is irritating. You see the Christmas tree back there? That's very very messed up back there. I have to do a relog once I'm done resetting all this stuff. All right, is there anything else I need to remove? I need to remove all of my skills. All right, I'm gonna go to spawn. I'm gonna do a little relog real quick. Okay, we're back. It happens to the best of us, you know, preparation, not my strong suit. I just thought I had nothing on my character slot 3. This is as much a shock to me as it is to you. Why is everything level 0? Visual bug. Oh, I've completed the quest.
Beat me in PvP, so I can beat you into nothing.
Oh?
You.
I'm gonna beat you into nothing, dude, with my max character, apparently. Once I get this figured out, this is awkward. You know what? Is there a way for me to reset my character and not lose my character data is the question. So next update with a yes. Hints as to what we can expect. Yeah, sure. Give me 2 seconds to get done with what I'm doing, and I will gladly give you some hints as to what you can expect. I'm just actually going to run the character reset command because, you know, we have that. That's a thing. Let me see if I can just reload my Arcosian. Not quite. Okay. I have to commit some hacks.
Combat. Hold on. Let me take my headphones out. I don't want to get spoiled.
Don't start with that, bro. Don't. You're gonna piss me off, bro. We've been here for 5 minutes. Don't piss me off. There we go. We have a reset character. There's nothing there. Beautiful. Level 0 in those for some reason, but great. Arcosian giving a time for, especially 5 minutes. So yeah, so as for combat update, the idea is to make combat just generally more interesting. I know it's kind of a nebulous idea, like just a vague idea, that one, but we want to make combat more entertaining and less of just spinning in circles, punching while you're locked onto your enemy, right? We want to make it more about... Huh?
Don't you like arthritis?
Yeah, we want to make it more about blocking, parrying, these kind of mechanics, rather than just swinging your fist. Like, normal Minecraft combat is okay in normal Minecraft, but it's not okay in Dragon Ball. Like, you wouldn't want to fight like Steve in the Dragon Ball universe, you know? It just... So kind of bridging the gap. We want to keep the combat where it is and allow that to still happen so that anyone who's really just wants to keep it simple, wants to keep it kind of mindless in terms of the gameplay, can. But then there's also a high skill ceiling. So, you know, you can stay at the bottom of the skill ceiling and just play like normal like you do now, or you can elevate and learn some tricks and, you know what I mean? Same way you can play a fighting game by button mashing, but you can also actually learn how to fight and you're going to kick ass. Alright, come here. Speaking of kicking ass.
Well, it's been real, guys.
Speaking of kicking ass. Come here, bro. Dang, I'm a quick little Arcosian over here. Look at that little dodge in action. Dude, your aura looks cool. Yeah, mine looks stinky. I didn't get a chance. I forgot to customize it. The slow fly, the dash fly. Oh man, come here. Wait, you actually do. Wait, do we do any damage to each other?
Not particularly.
Am I damaging you? You've done like 80 damage. Okay, I didn't put my starting stats in, to be fair.
We'll do that.
Well, I don't know where I want to put my starting stats.
Careful, guys. Numbers are hard.
I don't know.
Just be normal like everyone else. Just split it even. Bro.
I'm sorry, I had to. Thank you.
You don't understand. You need spirit higher so you can maximize key fist.
Yeah. Alright, now I'm ready to fight you. Apparently not. Oh, I see the damage. I see the damage.
Yeah, it's happening.
I'm definitely doing damage. I think we should wait for our first fight until we do some quests. Also, until you get some damn clothes.
There's a lot of nothing happening.
Oh, wait. You gotta go to spawn and start your daily missions, man.
Boom.
Warp Shenron. Yeah, combat update is something we're very excited for. Very excited to bring that to fruition and make the game a little bit more than make the game a little bit more than the boring kind of fighting it is right now. A liter of root beer in the freezer. Oh yeah, that's probably something important not to forget. Yeah, I was pretty much just saying that, like, yeah, you missed an awful fight between us. Oh, hey, I have, I'm actually not going to do my second. We should add more daily missions. I feel like it gets too monotonous or whatever. Doing the same, like, I feel like I get a lot of the same tasks often, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I feel like I would rather get some more unique ones and whatnot. There we go. Ooh, punching machine. I realistically should save the punching machine for later, but I'm just gonna pump into strength real quick and do it. I don't mind. Full 61 TP. Do you want to distance yourself from the basic spam clicking when you plan on adding some passive skill like RPG, or will you take inspiration from other mods like DBB? More of just honestly, kind of a broad. You go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I don't really like how any of that does it. Like, it'll be fun in its own thing, but I think there's, like...
I always view it as, like, kind of taken from everything, you know what I mean? We're not looking at one thing. We're not like, let's look at how DBV does it, or let's look at how Dark Souls does it, or let's look at this other RPG does it. We're kind of just like, what fits in Apollo, because DBV combat won't fit in Apollo, and Dark Souls combat won't fit in Apollo. Nothing is going to one-to-one fit, so there's going to be, like, random, oh, that's neat. Oh, that's neat. And then it kind of comes into this amalgamation, if you will, of things, which is kind of how every idea happens, right? Like, fundamentally, every idea is an idea from something at some point. Smurfing in the chat reaction. All right, time to do my first quest. Oh, I forgot to claim my daily rewards. Oopsie daisy. Get this. Look at this guy, dude. Oh my gosh, he's quick. He zoomed off on me. Yeah, but doing your first quest, dude. Fight Raditz.
Yeah.
I've seen this quest too many times. I have like PTSD from this quest. Seen it too much. Don't forget the Dragon Ball collectibles, man. Those are gonna go a long way.
I don't need it.
I don't have any recovery items. He said I don't need it. He's not built different. All right. You know what? I respect that. Am I going to be able to beat rats? Oh, wow. He is incredibly easy. You know, I feel like the whole, like, starting TP thing is kind of odd. Why even give starting TP, you know? Just, like, make the default stats good enough to fight Raditz, and then, yeah. Yeah. We're gonna be pretty open regarding this update. Like, probably throughout the podcast, you get a lot of information about it, but more broadly, I think we're just going to be talking a lot more openly about what the updates are going to look like, and, you know, just that kind of thing. Because with, you know, MP3, we spent a lot of time just kind of to ourselves working on the update, kind of grinding it out, and I think we want to be a little bit more public about what we're thinking for combat, especially since combat is such an important update. It's kind of not just a we cook and then deliver kind of situation. I feel like we actually need to be like, oh, you know, check out, how do you guys feel about this kind of thing? Because I think that's very important. Oh, man. I will say, like, I do, right off the bat, and it's early to say this, but I feel like the Saiyan Saga is a tinge on the easy side in terms of, like, I feel like I'm just speedrunning it. And it's not even like a I know stat allocation question. It does, in fact, just feel like a... I just, like, put my stats into strength and con, and then I was able to kill Raditz like it was nothing, you know? But I guess you could also, you know, there's like 250 quests. You probably don't want it to be super duper difficult to actually figure out how to play the first few quests. You need 5 flickers to get racial state.
Yeah. You know, the thing I didn't get spoiled on.
You should tell that story.
Nah.
Oh, my bad, yo. It's my game plan for Spirit build. Well, we're gonna remake Key from the ground up. We're gonna, and there's not anything fundamentally wrong with DBC's Key system. It's kind of more of a thing of, I think it doesn't work very well for us, and I don't really want to. I think it'd just be easier if we start with a new combat system rather than working off the existing one made by Jin. I just think it'd be easier in that sense, as well as give us more of an ability to actually create and change it rather than having to modify the existing. I feel like it'd be better to start from scratch in that regard. Do I have any movie quests yet? Is that a thing? You know, we've thought of a lot of ways to make Key feel better. Cat has considered many options for it. Cat is our lead scaler. I mean, our main scaler in every regard. This doesn't look like a door. Anyway, so we've considered many options. We've considered what if it was just similar DPS but faster, and while that could work, I feel like it's kind of just fundamentally a little bit of an issue with the key system itself. There's a lot of issues, like attacks missing, a lot of just hit registry issues. There you go. Cat's in the chat. Heck yeah. What's up, Cat?
Wow.
Let's start showing less damage and back and key dominated the entire game. It's a fine balance between keeping it feeling good and keeping it, like, it's kind of like in limbo right now. We try to make it, if we try to buff it, it might just become too good. Because frankly, it's fine right now. In many ways, it's very playable by all regards. But some people do not feel that way, and it's kind of, I think it requires more of a fundamental foundational change to Key rather than just a little quick change. Ben. Hey. Dude. Thank you. Dog back there causing a ruckus. I haven't touched keys since I was a public tester, so who knows? I mean, it didn't change since then. Just public testing a month ago, or 2 months ago now, didn't change since then, so. Cybermen. Hello, Cybermans. This is a staminas. He was planning on adding more cosmetics and armors. What can we expect? No, can be customized like Tur armor without pads. That's a great question. So when we talk about more cosmetics, that can be in the vein of more t-shirts and things of that sort, like the kind of simple cosmetics that you see right now, but it also might be more complicated ones, like entire outfits coming from the cosmetic system. At a point, we're going to add a wardrobe menu to flesh out the cosmetic system and make it a little bit more than what it is right now, because right now the cosmetic system is a command and it's pretty rough to use, to be honest. Ooh, there we go. There's a time keyboards are so strong you could beat the game in about, yeah. Yeah, I mean, especially in U6 when like Barrage was silly. Yeah, the key system rework is something I'm particularly excited for because I think we can also make it a lot more visually appealing. I like some of the stuff that DBC did in the later versions. Some of the stuff they did to make key look a little bit prettier, but I think we can take it a step further and add some really unique effects to it that DBC itself didn't have. Ooh, I can go get Kaioken. Wait a minute. Let me do that. Sure, you go do that if you want, Rook. You already have time.
I don't need it.
Too. There you go. Feeling good on this fine afternoon. Podcast is back. Oh, 20 points. Dang it. Literally exactly right when you mentioned it. That's funny. Probably need a lot more spirit, to be honest.
You don't need spirit. Aren't you a chill guy?
No. Never.
I have no chill, man.
I'm gonna beat Nappa up, man. Oh, I don't have any healing items. This is gonna be awkward. Oh, I'm gonna beat him. I'm gonna beat him. All right. Boom. I gotta say, I don't remember my gameplay whenever I was going through the... Let me go get some heals. I don't remember my gameplay when I was going through the server back in April it was, but I definitely feel like someone like Nappa should be a little bit more of a roadblock. I can, like, Raditz, you know, he's been nerfed probably a bajillion times, like, each update, but Raditz should probably be easy for this, if for nothing more than the fact that he's like the first enemy you fight, and you don't want like people getting roadblocked on their literal first quest before they even get to have fun and know what the server's about. But I feel like it goes a little too far with someone like Nappa being like, I have extra TP I can put in right now. I have 3,000 TP.
I think Nappa should be a little bit, but Vegeta should definitely be way harder. Because he's right after.
Oh, I haven't done Vegeta yet. I think Nappa could be beatable because the context of the Apollo story, I suppose, is you did all of the fucking training instead of just one of them. You didn't just do King Kai's training. You did King Kai's and the Z Warriors for some reason, and Gohan's. But even with that in mind, like, it still just feels a little too slippery slope. And Kat, this is the exact same scaling I played with in April, though. So the scaling didn't change since then. The scaling changed since when I played in U6, absolutely. I never even got to play early game GT scaling. Prince Vegeta. excited to level up Kaioken. That was really fun in testing. I do feel like at some point though, you end up going out of your way to level Kaioken. It's less of like that's what I was doing when I was testing, like just collecting achievements. I'd be in Kaioken just for the sake of leveling it, which like is fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but it ends up feeling less fun in that regard. Kaioken gets less time to shine, but I don't know. We'll see. It's definitely going to be what I'm going to be using up until, because I don't really care for primal mode like that. I need more ki. I don't want to have to manage my ki.
Oh, we hit the point where I get 1 for 1.
What's that?
At 1-8, I get 1 for 1. I use my entire health bar to beat this man.
Wait, are you Saiyans can be more of a roadblock that way, plus the character does mention it in the slug quest. Yeah, that'd be cool. Like literally just end of Dragon Ball being the tutorial. That'd be cool. It'd be a cute way to be like, hey, Dragon Ball exists, lol. I'm not opposed to that. It's quite cool. I definitely think a more grounded tutorial would be cool, because you know all we have is like the weird on-screen one that kind of a little weird in that regard.
You're a little weird.
My bad, yo.
I agree, though.
Oh, I should level up before I fight this guy. Level 600. He's a strong boy. I should put my points in at the very least. There we go. Wait till I passive heal this amount. Oh, I'm not going to passive heal because I started the quest. There we go. I'm gonna go do the Turtle Saga, the Tree of Might Saga very soon, because I want to get my racial state and I want to use it ASAP.
Oh. I don't need it.
I mean, you don't even know what it is, bro. You weren't spoiled.
Yeah.
Good point.
I didn't pay attention during meetings. Can't get spoiled if you don't.
You should tell that story. You didn't tell it earlier.
That was the story.
No, you gotta. Come on, man. You're like skipping a few things.
I don't remember.
You didn't pay attention during during that conversation.
I didn't pay attention during my recounting of the story.
That's.
I can't do it the same funny way.
You're terrible. You're a terrible person. You should feel bad. Movie quest time.
I'm a terrible person for making these wolves like this.
Oh gosh, yeah, I'm about to see them. But you said you didn't need the racial state, dude. What are you doing here?
Oh yeah. I wasn't paying attention to their conversation. Speak with
Icarus Forest Fire. Why is there a forest fire, and why did Icarus set it? A terrible person. This guy's model is really cool. I like his model. Let me go Kaioken. I want to get XP for Kaioken. It'd be cool if there was an on-screen indicator when you got passive XP for Kaioken infusion. That'd be very nice. Like subtle, not a whole message, just like a little tick in the chat. I need to go get a Dragon Radar at spawn. Oh, sorry
I
about
keep
that. Yeah,
liking
I missed that message earlier. Thank you for reposting it. Were you planning on making a level 4 for racial legendary Super Saiyan, like tier 4 for Rare Primal, or was always thought as a better version of 1 to 3, but lesser than 4 in God? Will you expand on it later, or are y'all happy with the way it is now? Well, the immediate thing I would say to like, why isn't racial state on like Primal or God or anything like that is we didn't want to make like 10 bajillion forms. We already did make 10 bajillion forms. 3 forms for every race was already quite time consuming. And then also putting it on Primal just kind of felt unnecessary in this update. Maybe we will in the future, but like it felt really unnecessary in the context of this update when we were trying to get Primal and God better balanced with each other. And just all these things. We didn't feel like we needed to do that. But yeah, maybe in the future. Not a terrible idea.
Good morning, gentlemen and
Morning,
ladies.
Munchkin.
this guy.
Yeah, we have both
Is
of the
here.
designers here.
All right, I can retire now, right?
Collected them like Infinity Stones. Did you get a Dragon Radar at spawn, or are you gonna suffer and do it manually?
I don't need it.
You're terrible.
I've only done 3 passes over the map.
Yeah, you'll go get the radar at 7, right? Just for good, good measure. No, but the question of like, why isn't racial state on more things was asked quite a lot. That was people's pretty much first thought when they were like, oh, it's only for tier 1 to 3. They were like, oh, why isn't it on more? And we're just like, well, it feels honestly unnecessary in the context of where the server is right now. Like Primal, it's the same conversation as why doesn't Primal have like full power or like Kaioken or something, because Blue has Kaioken, A God has Kaioken, and it's kind of a thing where it's like Kaioken, A God, the God path, if you will, is supposed to have the edge right now. That's our intention, right? So Primal is supposed to be where Primal is, and then maybe in the future. Hey, that's my last Dragon Ball. Loser. You have fun not using a Dragon Radar. But yeah, Primal is kind of just where Primal is, and we're kind of cool with it for right now. In the future, it'll probably get expanded though. Because the dual paths is a really cool thing I think we've done. Because I always kind of hate when like 4 is just another form and then you get something else that's stronger, then you move on. I think the idea of these branching forms is really, really unique. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's one really cool part about it is racial states stand on their own 2 legs by being so unique. They're such a unique mechanic. And I think, I think a lot of people wanting it is actually a good thing. Because, like, they're like, oh, man, I really want to use that cool mechanic on forms that are actually beneficial, like endgame forms. And it's like, that makes sense. There's no harm there. I don't think there'd be a third path in racial states. That doesn't really make much sense. Oh man, Dragon Block 3. Look at this guy. He's funny looking. Was this guy with fire? Right. It's so irritating because it like goes out instantly, but you get just like it's just an annoying visual cue. Are you gonna be making a character, by the way, Munchkin?
No, I'm talking to my girlfriend. I just woke up.
Or me.
I like these skins from Turtles. Amon looks cool. Well, that's one thing. Just in general, though, everyone in the chat, how have you guys been enjoying the update? What are you guys' favorite thing, feature, change, whatever it is? What are you guys thinking? You guys all at? Cacao. That's funny looking. It's built funny. Redeem at the quest giver. Where are you at right now, Rook?
7-5.
Haha,
Risen.
loser.
And
No dragon radar.
what? Oh no, I got all the Dragon Balls a while ago. I used my seeing eyes.
You're seeing eyes? You don't have
Yeah.
those.
That's the point.
One thing I love about the new health bar is that you're able to just look at like your key drain and be like, oh, this key drain is 0.5% of my key bar. I want to get it down to 0.4. Really good. Beside the new forms and quests, I'd say the best feature was the option to customize the GUI and character more. Absolutely, yeah. I love the GUI customization. Big fan of it.
I
Go to
like
this one, sir.
the standard RPG. Or traditional RPG, whatever that thing is, with dark mode.
Oh yeah, the color scheme. I was a little confused for
Yeah.
a second, but I got you.
I'm actually using mana, guys. I'm a wizard.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of all the character creation stuff and all the GUI customization. I went pretty ham on that one once the ball got rolling for that. Definitely. Yep. For sure.
Dang.
It's funny because
if only there was a way to get rid of this warp forms thing.
you're a sicko. You're a sick person. He's talking about getting rid of this over here because he's not gonna go do it. You're a menace, dude. I love the new inventory highlight thing. It's so subtle and nice. It's very epic. Yeah, but I think the combat update's really exciting because, you know, I think it's going to be one of the most substantial changes we've made to the server in terms of, like, moving away from DBC in that way. Because, you know, we've moved away from DBC in many, many ways, but we're still fundamentally Dragon Block C in terms of gameplay. Like, if you put us side by side, aside from the visuals, you might still think we're Dragon Block C in that way. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think, you know, both for the sake of making the combat more interesting and breaking out of that boring Minecraft mod mold, it's important. You know, I'm a firm believer that this Minecraft mod can be greater than a Minecraft mod if the effort's put in. And that's what me and the team here love to do. Love to kind of redefine what is a Minecraft mod. I mean, I think
Free me.
that, huh?
Free me.
Never.
Send help.
No, never. Don't do that. Don't send help.
What race did y'all pick?
I picked Arcosian.
I'm a human.
Oh, that's. I was about to be like, huh? Will's looking awfully human-like with that arm. I didn't realize I was watching, bro.
Ugh, no,
All along.
I died of Kaioken.
That's why I don't need it.
All right. This is not damning evidence for why Kaioken is bad. Don't do this. Do not slander my good Kaioken.
I do not need to burn myself in a really pretty way and then die.
But it's pretty. F3 has a lot of quality of life changes and geared towards early to mid game. Will the next update have some stuff for late game? Probably not, for the simple basis that it's combat. It's not really trying to change the late game. It's changing the entire game for that matter. So yes, but no, there's not gonna be like content for the late game. Like, we're not adding late game quests. We're likely gonna be adding the Cell Saga PQ, but that's not gonna be late game per se. I think that's, I don't remember where Android Saga scales, but I can tell you it's definitely not late game right now. And Cell Saga's not going to be, you know. Dioken. Oh my gosh, look at this guy. Big old cooler. Open. Oh no, it's the hourly on time lag. No!
Yeah. The other thing is, we're hoping to try and like not take 2 years on an update anymore.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I mean,
content is a good thing, but if we want to actually get everything out feasibly, you know.
any chance to get part 2 date for what? This is part 2?
Or 2 of what? Mom, I'm scared they're saying forbidden curses at me.
It's not a part 2. Doesn't exist. Book has always just been an event that kind of just runs. There's not really parts to it in that manner.
Oh, I wasn't punching fast enough. He killed me.
You actually died because you're not in Kaioken.
It wouldn't matter. I don't believe in dexterity.
Are you actually doing that damn build?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's still, in fact, Spookfest. There's not going to be... Oh! Oh! Power from the fruitamite radiates. The meta core pulses within your very being. I've gone... Grrr.
Wait, that happened at the start of the fight for me, and I got confused.
Yeah. Go into it to fight the boss.
You guys, 2 or 1?
We're on US
2.
2.
Oh, Alice.
I died!
Yeah, it actually was. I was not punching fast enough. All was right in the world. I won.
When's the Halo coming then, Jolly? The Halo is not from anything. The Halo is just an admin Halo. It's just a red colored Halo for admins.
Mine's blue because I draw pretty pictures.
That's
I
all
think you can
different
get-
colors.
You can get the yellow one, right? Normal players.
Yes, they just get... It's the exact same Halo, but yellow. It's literally just colored a different color in the code for us. Manually, there's no way to do it as a player.
Because it's big and obvious.
Oh, there is not Hercule.
You're not cool enough.
That's rude.
Man, I wish I had Spooky.
Hey man, you're playing at the perfect time.
Oh, yeah.
I have unlocked MP32S.
I don't know if I want to go half Saiyan like everyone else, or if I want to go Maj.
Yeah, which one are you leaning towards?
I think I'm gonna go Demon.
What?
You know, the race is like in the middle, the secret one that we didn't tell no one about.
Oh yeah, right. You know, the like secret combo, you gotta press some buttons to get it and stuff.
Yeah,
Man,
that
I
was
wish
the
I
reason
could
why
be
the update
Demon.
Took longer because you know had to make the extra race and everything. All the
Yeah, man, there's a whole secret race we slipped in, you know? They don't know.
little quest line too that no one knows about.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, like the whole 200 quests, you know, it's actually just half the game is just locked behind that, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Rose.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's also, don't
Don't
forget True Ultra Instinct, or you know, Beast Form, or, you know, Orange Piccolo and all that, man. It's...
I need more decks. I need to pop off my right arm. Put on a robot one.
You know what we should add in the future?
Huh.
No thanks.
When I start, am I?
He's about to say something we
Is
already
there,
have.
can I compare the like races if I have to like go over to them, if you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Stats, like I'm looking at Majin to compare it to human, I have to go all the way back over to human. They can't. Is it like?
You actually
compare
don't
them
have to go
both?
all the way back over because they're right next to each other in the cycle, but
Not human. Wait, not human. I mean half saiyan. My bad.
there's not really like a side-by-side comparison, no.
It's all that.
That'd be neat, but I think ultimately,
I feel like that would also have the subtle implication that, oh, one of these is that much better, so it actually matters because you can compare it.
Yeah,
For
I
this
like the
big
idea of
decision
it
you're
being
making.
more of like a subtle, like, you do that.
Oh wait, never mind. I was gonna
Let me turn Munch
the
up.
shit at the bottom of my screen is my.
Yeah, why are you so damn quiet, Munchkin? I got you at 163, bro. Fix your shit, pal.
Probably because I'm not talking in front of my mic when I talk most of the time.
Speaking in the mic when you
And-
speak.
Speaking quieter. I don't feel like speaking out my throat kind of.
Is the spook event create a stone brick?
What? Oh, because I forgot to replace it.
Oh,
It's supposed to be a high tier crate if you care to replace it, Hercule. If not, I can do it later. The map got all borked whenever I transferred it to live last night, so I had to go through and do a bunch of that. But to hark back to like the MP3 development time, where the hell did I just get 100,000 Zenny?
what the?
Did someone give me that? Was that you, Hercule? Yeah, Munchkin's talking into a tin can with a string. I reckon that sounds about right. Checks out even. Did someone give me this 100k Zenny? I sure hope so, because I'm not going to keep it either way, but did you actually give it to me though, Hercule? Because I want to give it back. I don't want this. I would like to get my I'm trying to play natural gameplay. Trying to experience the player's suffering firsthand. I have to experience the suffering I inflict. I was about to make a joke, but I'm not legally allowed to hear Hercule come to this quest. 203, please. Yeah, but like with MP3's development, you know, the whole 2-year timeline thing, a big part of that was the fundamental recode of many systems, you know. It wasn't... Now, it's kind of hard to explain, right? Because so much of recoding things, the fundamental goal with a recode, in many cases, is to recode and change things and keep it the same for you. So that you, as a gamer, experiencing the exact same thing. It didn't change. Or if it did, it just got a little bit better, a little bit smoother, less laggy, whatever it is, right? So that's the goal of a recode. So inherently, all of these recodes I've done, most of them, you don't even notice. Like TP boosters, those got internally changed, but you wouldn't notice because they're fundamentally the same under the hood. Or for you guys, they're different under the hood, but the car looks the same.
Something I just noticed. For the body scarring, 7 to 10, like the models for them are like bigger than the rest.
Just write that down in the chat, please.
All right.
I'll get to it. Someone said you wouldn't spend 2 years on updates. Yeah, that was Rook here. So can we expect more updates with less features on them? Like, will Future Saga be out by end of 2025? I don't think the Future Saga will be out by the end of 2025, no, because we have the entire combat update to do, and then we start on Future. So with everything Future is bringing and everything Combat's bringing, I wouldn't expect Future Saga by... The goal is just to not do another 2-year update. That doesn't mean we're going to suddenly drop updates every 6 months. That would be ideal, maybe. But with something we kind of already have... Oopsie, I looked away for a second and died. We kind of already have on our slate the Combat update and the Future Saga update that, like, those are kind of too big in and of themselves to be ripped out real quick. You know what I mean? Like, by no means is the combat update going to be a quick update. And then by no means is 1.3 a quick update, just by their feature set. So, no, there won't be, like, small updates with less features, at least now. Maybe after those 2 updates, that's what we'll lean into. But for now, combat update's too big to be a small little drop. You know what I mean? It's definitely an interesting idea, though. Like, the idea of leaning into more of a frequent cycle of releases like that could be cool. But then there's also so much overhead that comes with releasing updates, events, literally anything. There's a lot more overhead than you might expect, just because, you know, it's not just as simple as, oh, code the things and push it out, because we have to push it out to 6 servers, and even rolling out a quick little patch is slightly annoying. Like, it's a few hours of work to roll out, which whatever. But when you get to a bigger scale and there are actually big updates changing dozens of things, it gets a little bit more complicated than, because most of the patches, most of the builds are just a couple fixes that require basically nothing. How are you going to tackle dungeons? What does that entail? Well, Final Fantasy XIV is a huge inspiration for that. It's one of the only games I've even played with dungeons. Actually, that's not true. It's one of the most prominent ones I've played, though, that I, like, remember off the top. Kind of just what you kind of expect when you hear dungeon. You know, you get in a dungeon, you're there, you queue up with a team, or you solo it, whatever it is, and just scale accordingly, just like party questing. And then, you know, you get in there and you're clearing waves of enemies, you're clearing whatever, I don't know, just going through the flow of clearing out this dungeon, some mini bosses on the way, maybe some puzzles. We'll see if we want to lean into that. Some environmental things you can do, hopefully. The idea is to be pretty far from where we are right now. We don't want, because if it was just dungeons with some enemies, you clear the like little trash mobs, then you fight a mini boss, trash mobs, then a boss. That's just like a complicated quest with some steps, right? Like, that's not really an exciting thing, and we wouldn't really hype it up like that. No, I've never played Hypixel Skyblock Dungeons. Frankly, I was a huge Skyblock fan, but they took over like a year to make that damn update, and I lost interest in the time. And the person I was playing Skyblock with at the time had left, so like, I was just like, I'm not really gonna solo play this. So by the time Dungeons came out, I was kind of uninterested. And then it was also just like Skyblock was like a job. Like, that game server was way too grindy. Like, leave it to the minigame server to come out with somehow make Skyblock infinitely grindy. They literally just made an MMO, which it's cool. I liked it, but when I started like just playing it to get in the top I was like the top 0.1% of pumpkins for some reason. That was what I liked. And when you start just doing that all day and just like upgrading your minions and spending tens of hours grinding gold, it just got really like, eh. But anyway, the dungeons on it, no, I've never really played them. I know they're like procedurally generated and stuff like that. I'm gonna be honest, procedural generation was like the AI before AI for video games. It was like the buzzword. Does anyone actually give a shit if the dungeon's procedurally generated? It makes it feel more unique, sure, but at the end of the day, the mechanics of the dungeon are what you're playing. The layout of the dungeon, I don't know. Again, haven't played it, so maybe I'm talking out my butt here, but I feel like procedural generation is kind of a waste of time. I feel like just having a dungeon and focusing on making a damn good dungeon, fundamentally the builders go ham on making it beautiful, and then it's a nice dungeon, and then you make another nice dungeon, rather than worrying about making it infinitely interchangeable and stuff like that. You spend more time on just making the thing really good. And frankly, procedural generation is quite out of our scope. Like, I've never even thought about that kind of thing.
You ever seen a ginger half stand?
No, I haven't.
Alright, we're there. I can't win. Yeah, we'll say event TV boosters are making this, like, so when we were playing back in April before the boosters were on, I had to grind at Vegeta and Nappa. But with them on, like, I got to Zarbon phase 2 before I actually need to go back and grind now. Like, that 25% is doing a lot.
What would the rewards look like for said dungeons? That's a good question. A focus for dungeons for us is actually trying to move away from, like, we want dungeons to be one of those new systems. So, you know, you have quest challengers, and we want dungeons to be a third pillar of main gameplay. We want them to be a huge part of the game. We do not just want these to be like a little, oh yeah, let me go do dungeons. We want dungeons to be in your main game rotation. If dungeons become, I mean, first off, let's put it like this. You know, barring combat update making challengers and questing just feel better, we want dungeons to be fundamentally different, because quests and challengers, unless we go ahead and change the fundamental gameplay in between the time, like, unless quests and challengers suddenly get a overhaul in terms of how they work and how they feel, quests and challengers are sort of close. Accept quest, spawn enemy, fight enemy, claim quest. Challengers, choose enemy, fight them on loop. Pretty similar, pretty boring fighting thing. So we want dungeons to inherently be a third system that's different. It's still combat orientated, but it has a little bit more thinking behind it, a little bit more thought in terms of how you do it, as well as just those kind of things. And with that in mind, we also don't just want it to be giving TP and Zenny and just these other things that you get from challengers and quests, because then you have the argument in your mind, well, actually, this dungeon gives me less TP than the challenger, so it's useless. We don't want that to be an argument for it. We want it to stand on its own feet. Maybe it gives some TP and Zenny, but we want it to primarily be giving other things that can help you in other ways. Probably ways that are coming from that update at that. If that makes sense. I hope that answered the question. We want to lean on other rewards. That's something we want to bring in some kind of new currency, like Zenny. You know, we have Zenny vouchers, Dragon Balls. We want to bring in another currency, so there's more things to give, because we're kind of like pigeonholed right now, and every system has to give one of those three things, or TP, and you end up just with the whole game kind of just feeling like you're just getting Zenny from everything or vouchers from everything, and it's just like, that would be amazing. Personally, I think you can somehow throw factions and parties into the mix. Well, parties, absolutely. That's the co-op system right there. The foundation for co-op gameplay is parties, and that will tie directly into dungeons. The way dungeons are going to be hosted is actually they're going to be on a different server. They're going to be hosted on a different server, in quotes, the same way that US2 is a different server than US1. So what you're going to do when you queue up for a dungeon, you're going to get sent to a different server once the queue pops, as it's called, as many MMOs refer to it. So once the queue goes off and you actually get sent, you'll get sent into the server and you'll be playing in a different space. So one, we get to keep the dungeons gameplay lag and anything orientated around that on its own server, and then everyone else is uninterrupted. As well as, you don't want dungeons to be on US1, so servers like US3 are underplayed. There's 2 people there right now, or AU1 has 0 people on, stuff like that. So you don't want a system where those servers are just unable to play, because there's not going to be many people queuing on that server at any random time. So we definitely want matchmaking across the servers. But as far as factions goes, I don't think factions will get anything like that, unfortunately, because factions are not coded by me. They're a plugin. I can only configure them a little. I can't really do much with them. But I'm probably just going to make my own faction system at a point and convert all the data into it so that we have our own faction system. It will fundamentally do everything the same, but then it would do extra things on top of that with the game itself. But that's kind of like... Sorry, text. That's kind of the idea there. And there's a lot of things. Just to clarify, there's a shit ton of things that I want to change about the server. But to explain something real quick, the reason MP3 took 2 years is because I had a shit ton of stuff I wanted to change. And I was in this kind of mental state where I'm like, I just want to work on fun things and feel good. Like quick selection, character creation, the new health bar. These were all things that started fundamentally as for fun. We did not need to change the health bar. You guys were probably completely fine with it before this update. Is it prettier? I mean, I hope, right? But at the same time, it wasn't a necessity, and it absolutely wasn't needed. But that's the part for me. This is this is my full-time thing, in quotes, but it's also a hobby. I love it. I love developing the server. I get a lot of joy out of that. So I end up working on things that are less time efficient. So when I'm talking about like remaking factions, it's like, of course it's on my to-do list, but it's so far down that to-do list that it's probably not going to happen by the time dungeons come around, just to clarify. Since it's such a big task in and of itself. How's your gameplay going, Rook and Munch?
Making a character right now. Having a pretty good time.
Oh no.
I had to make my first character because I never like did them.
That's okay. Just admitting you haven't played Dragon Ball Apollo in my face, in front of an audience. It's okay.
You did tell me to wait until Spook came out, so. I was
You mean
gonna
this
download it the other
update?
day and, yeah.
Oh. That's what you mean.
Like, I was
Okay.
gonna do
Yes.
it the other day and like, so I didn't have to worry about that. But you're like, yeah, don't download it
I
because
got
you have to re-download it again anyways.
That I did say. Spreading misinformation on my name.
Mhm.
Oh, we're spreading misinformation.
Don't, no!
Alright, my bad.
Please don't talk about the capybara incident of 1986.
So anyway, we're gonna throw Titan Namekian back in. It's gonna be real great.
Dude, I can't wait till we could just start leaking things on the podcast. We could just be like, yo, guys, check out this thing we're working on. And, like, it'll just be like a little secret. Like, anyone that shows up in the podcast or watches it after the fact will just see the cool thing, and they'll be like, oh my gosh, that's very epic. Good job. And, like, they'll be the only ones that get to see it.
Until I take a screenshot of it real quick
I mean,
and then post in like
Yeah.
memes or some shit.
that'd be cool, though. Like, that would genuinely be cool. Like, just a
They
normal...
would spread
normal-
it, you wouldn't have to.
Yep. And like, it's like Patreon, but you don't have to pay money. It's just like you
That's
just
very true.
gotta listen to me yap for 2 hours. That's more than money, okay? You know, it's like a leaking things. The cooking update will have leaks. Yes.
Wow.
My last question about Dungeons as well. It sounds fantastic. How far out would it be with Combat Plus updates? It's the update after Combat. So, after Combat. I don't know about the timeline, frankly. If I gave you a timeline, I'd be lying because I don't know.
Yo.
We haven't started developing Well, we started developing
That-
Combat, but that's more like features that we started in MP3. And 1 second, Munchkin. That's something as well with the whole MP3 dev timeline. There's stuff worked on an MP3 that isn't even in MP3. There's features hidden in the code. Hidden is relative. But you know what I mean? Like, there's things I coded that haven't made their way in yet that are, like, future ideas. So there's some things that have already started for Combat Update that are in the code right now. But they're just disabled. Stuff of that sort. Go ahead, Munch.
I just realized I didn't get my slinted eyes. My closed eyes.
Oh, you wanted Rook to add those? Yeah, there's a lot of faces to add.
was looking at the eyes,
Rook has a
like-
life. How dare him?
Sorry, buddy. I'm out here trying to get my masters. You're gonna have to wait on those eyes.
No, I actually just told him to
Lying,
stop
don't
making
cost-
faces. Because I was like, make other things, Rook.
That too.
I still stand by that decision. And those builders had better get to work. Dude, Hercule, isn't one of the dungeons already done, like, actually 3 years ago? There's a staff application channel, #apply. You just do, like, /apply, and then it will tell you there's, like, a tester app and a staff
Sir,
app.
that says appreciation.
Oh, staff appreciation channel?
He can't read. Get him a book, guys. He needs a dictionary.
I'm not sure, Sawada. I probably said your name incredibly wrong, but like, you know, I'm not sure. I just know the numbers, but I don't know the actual efficient grinding meta. You'd be better off asking some players that have played it. Pretty sure that it needs to be decorated. Also, little dyslexia arc. Dude, I didn't go to college. I decided to run a Minecraft server instead of going to college, guys. Come on. Cut me some
I
slack
had
here.
so much fun in college. I went again, but stronger.
Dude, saying that I decided to run a Minecraft server instead of going to college is such a hilarious sentence. It's more of I didn't care to go to college and I was running the server, you know? It wasn't an active decision where I'm like, no, I was going to go to college, but then I decided not to work on the server. It was quite the I wasn't going to go to college route. I was going that. No other choice.
I hope you get better soon.
The builds and crates are great. Adi and Hercule went crazy on that. Yeah, they teach you that in college. No, I'm just genuinely terrible at spelling. And I just... Listen. Oh no, not Voxair. Not Voxair. What's up, Vox? I'm playing Dragon Block Apollo, dude. It's got to be done, dude. It's the hit Dragon Block server. I'd be wrong not to.
In the
You
end,
had a
it has to be
system.
this way.
You had a system where you can redo all the story missions, but they are much harder, like a New Game Plus. See, pitching it as New Game Plus is way better than pitching it as Prestige. Because some people call it Prestige. And anytime I hear Prestige, I get triggered, like unironically, because Prestige is just has been shitified by every game that I've seen do it, to a point that like I just hate the idea of Prestige. But New Game Plus, like in a Dark Souls manner, where you're just like play for fun because you want to and you have a stronger character, could be fun. But I definitely think like
I think a hard mode would be cooler for like everything.
If you beat U6 and then you get New Game Plus, you're actually, even if the enemies are like multitude stronger, you're gonna breeze through everything up until maybe BOG if you're lucky. So it's kind of like, because the scaling is like not even a linear line. It's like, it's a logarithmic line. So it just goes insanely vertical at the end. DBA is actually number 17 overall in Planet Minecraft. So it actually is the hit Dragon Block server. I also don't think there's other Dragon Block servers on Planet Minecraft. Some of them are on some of the other voting sites. We're not, statistically speaking.
Statistically speaking, chicken tastes really good.
Yes. There's other Dragon Block servers above us on some other vote sites, though.
If you get a chance, when I click Ascending God, if you look in the chat, it does that.
Oh, good. As intended.
But if I click, I can click on, I can still click onto like adult Majin and like it'll reset it. But whenever I click Ascending, it like deletes everything.
No, I have to use the upgrades in order. This is terrible.
Oh, you're getting the Challenger upgrades?
I can only afford respawn time 2.
I think the end of the story. I think a hard mode would actually be cool. I'm gonna be honest. I think a hard mode where the game is genuinely harder. Yeah, I agree with Kat in the chat. Because you got to remember, like, Elden Ring, at the beginning of the game with 0 vitality or whatever the stat is, versus the end. Like, you got a lot more health, but, like, you could still get your ass beat by an enemy in the first area if you just get hit, right?
Well, Rook,
so,
you did a good job on, what is it, the racial state for, Majin. Little Genie, bro. Did a good job on that.
Please don't compliment me, it feels weird.
Alright. Looks like fucking ass, bro. You need to do better.
Alright. Now you're back to normal.
You could have it so the enemies have new attacks. That'd be fun. We definitely, that's one thing with combat. We definitely want to make the enemy AI and just, my pitch for it is I want the enemies to do what players do. Whether that's flying, whether that's shooting key blasts, actually better key blasts and like more nuanced, or whether that's like being able to dodge and all these kind of things. I want the enemies to be able to function on the same capacity as a player, so they're not just milly-whopping them.
Dodoria just perfect parries everything.
So It's been a while since I've
Good
done
shit,
it, so
Vox.
I'm asking a little silly question.
They're always silly from you.
Is there a reason why I can't see like my aura? Like when I'm trying.
Because you don't have any.
Oh. But I couldn't see it as the half sane either.
No, it's just a bug.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're good. I had to take that opportunity. Give NPCs sensu beans. That would be fucking hilarious if we let the enemies heal. Bro, you start hero spamming on the enemy. If you use too many sensu beans, they're just like, they just in chat, they just actually curse you out and start heal spamming on you. They insult you and say, yeah, bet you. They say, bet you do need to heal, loser, and then they start healing on you. Oh my gosh, I love that idea. Write that down, write that down.
Yeah, but they do have cooldowns too, so you know you can.
No, they don't. No.
Oh, why?
No, you're nuh-uh. No, it can't be balanced. I'm not able to go Kaioken times 3. Cannot go Kaioken to Kaioken. That seems like a bug.
Oh, whoops! I went to Kaioken stacking. That's not where Kaioken's stored.
Dude, I do that all the time. Yeah, I think we want to do a parry mechanic. I'm not 100% sure. It depends how parrying feels once we start messing with it, because it's an easy system to code fundamentally, but is it going to feel good? How is it going to feel if there's any kind of lag? All of these kind of things. Voice lines are literally never going to happen. I don't have the money to pay people to voice act. Like, maybe specific things, but not like whole game voice acting. Even AAA games struggle with that one. But maybe specific things. But audio files are also massive. The entire mod pack is 60 megabytes, which is really small, by the way. Like, mobile games are easily bigger than that. The designers, they're frequently yelled at for files being large. They're reprimanded.
Yeah, you better stop that.
Give it a whole cutscene when it happens. Just throwing a sense of
Did y'all start with like nothing?
Yes, I did. Okay. I did a reset and cleared my inventory and all that.
Okay, because I'm just gonna throw all my shit away.
No, even better. Just like guilt trip the player. Just like the cutscene, he goes, "Sorry. I mean, I've been really unfair, man. Here."
The enemy gives you a sense of in?
No, you give the enemy a sense of being because you're heal spamming.
Oh, it's forced too. It's like you don't even get the choice. Oh, I love this.
It doesn't consume it out of your inventory, but it just...
Like how in vanilla DBC it says, that's not a bad idea. I think it's a pretty cool idea. The idea of kind of like what DBC did.
Grunts.
Well, that's general sound effects. Like, yeah, I want sound effects for when you punch. That's kind of just expected. But I'm not sure. Maybe we'll go do anime voice lines. But then you also get into a context where straight up just ripping anime voice clips. Like, we try to avoid using as much Dragon Ball material as possible, like directly from Dragon Ball. We try to keep it on the inspiration basis, right? Oh yeah, no, I think I've seen that, Curry. That was hilarious. Straight ripping the audio isn't also audio. When you talk about copyright stuff, audio is a really rough one. Audio is where you hear copyright happening a lot. Copyright happens for a lot of things, but audio is like pretty objective. If the audio is there, it's there, you know?
Yeah.
It also depends on the dub. Maybe some of the dubs they don't really care about and they're not gonna go after. But also, I would argue it would be really cool to just pay a voice actor and support someone, you know, with the money the server makes. Just pay someone, be like, hey, here you go. Here's some, say these voice lines. Get someone who does it convincing enough. And at that point, though, they'd probably just be Dragon Ball lines, but voice acted by someone else, right? So then it would be like whatever.
Dragon Ball lines voice acted by player voice _1.
Yeah, pretty much.
Question, do y'all just start with normal quests and then you go to
Yeah, once you get to 106, I just beat Saiyan Saga and then go do the Turtles quest line.
Okay.
Turtles.
Been a fun podcast so far, man.
Is there anything I should like know about or get before I go do the quest?
Just go for it, man.
Their quests. Just beat them up.
I'm gonna go collect my Dragon Balls. Honestly,
Oh,
though, man, me and the team, we are very. It's been very cool ever since MP3 came out. We had so many damn creatives join the team. It has been insanely cool. We've had so many new people join our team. So many, like, in the arts and concepts channel, dude, there's just people casually dropping, like, really good art. And then I'm just like, yo, do you want to do stuff for the server, maybe? And then we get in touch and we just chat, and maybe stuff's going to happen from that. It's really cool to see our community. I mean, just members of our community randomly making sick art and then having the opportunity to reach out to them and maybe get them involved in the project. But on some other basis, a few months back, right before the update was coming out in like August, we were working on some stuff that nobody's seen or heard about. And it's really cool, and it's involved in combat update. And you guys are gonna like shit your pants when you see it. And I'm not gonna tell you what it is for a few months. So yeah, but it's cool, and it's going really well. And that's something where we brought on, like, literally I was just talking about it, and then one of the players was like, yo, I know how to do that. And I'm like, yo, accept my friend request. And then we get to talking, and a few days later we have some really cool stuff, and it's really cool. And yeah, maybe I'll talk about it sooner than I think, but we gotta make it through the pipeline a little bit more, because when you show off things for the first time, you want to make sure they don't kind of have obvious visual flaws that people can nitpick. Get it presentable and all that. Can we get a hint? No. It won't be too long. It is a very exciting thing, and it is crucial to combat if we end up deciding that we're going to go for it. It's a big part of combat, so it will be shown sooner or later. It'll be one of the first things shown for combat at that. Been playing Sparking Zero. Bro, I'm a nerd and I love looking at Steam player counts. Like, for any game I like, I love looking at Steam player counts. And goddamn, is Sparking Zero's player count nosedived. Like, it's down at 3,000 players when I checked the other day. And, you know, I know, like, looking at player counts is cringe and blah, 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 but, like, for how hyped that damn game was, dude, to launch with, like, 200,000 players, and then to get down to 3,000 just a month later. Month and a half, excuse me. Big little difference there.
I mean, from watching videos on it and the arguments I've seen, that shit does look kind of annoying, because once you get to a certain point, it's like you're just countering. And I saw videos of multiple videos of people doing counters, whatever, like 20 back-to-back. It's like, bro.
Well, it also doesn't help that the game launched and then they just have done nothing. As far as I'm aware, they haven't done anything, right? Like, there's been no changes or no. It's just kind of like, all right, guys, the game's out. We'll see you when we want money from you and we release DLC.
Well,
Personally, I only cared about the what if stories because it was a spiked and soft game.
Well, it's also one of those things for me where it's like, it's a multiplayer game, and that's the reason I feel confident in critiquing the player count drop off. Because it's a multiplayer game. Kakarot, who gives a shit if the player count goes down? Yeah, people beat the story and then move on. Or people didn't play at all because they already knew the story. But, like, Sparking Zero was inherently pushed as a fighting game. Where Fighter Z had better player retention. This was actually a good fighting game. And I haven't played Sparking Zero, so I'm talking out my ass. But I know Sparking takes less of a competitive balanced approach than Fighter Z.
The Sparking Zero combat, it was too easy for me to just spam abuse things, and then I got bored.
Love that you're doing podcasts. Must leave early. Have a. I'm sure you already left, Plastic, but I hope you have a great day. I was in the middle of a yap when you said that, so I didn't get a chance to respond. 801. I don't know how long we're gonna stream today, guys. Probably another 30 minutes. What they did with Sparking Zero is the same they did with DB Breakers. How so? I'd love to hear you elaborate on that. I haven't played either. I just have too many damn games that I don't care to play another Dragon Ball game. What ifs are a neat argument for the game? No, absolutely. That's one of the... I almost got the game when Vox here in the chat was showing me the what ifs. I almost got it on the spot. They're great. I'm not like, I don't hate the game. I think it turned out quite well from everything I've seen. It's just like kind of a shame that its player count is dwindling. But then again, what are you gonna do? Play the game forever? I don't know.
I beat the what ifs. My purpose here is done. Goodbye.
The game has its problems, but not nearly as many as people say, of course. But because everyone does the annoying shit, yeah, nobody actually plays. But it's the game's job to not let the countering be such a thing that it can be abused. Because, like, yeah, everyone does it. Haha, that sucks. But counterpoint. Oh, man, everyone heal spams on Dragon Walk Apollo. They shouldn't do that, though, because they're ruining their own fun. Same argument on my brain, and it, you know,
I don't think
so
that's the
many
counter
flaws
you
with
meant.
it.
I think you meant like actually physically countering a span, like a certain.
No, I know.
Or
I'm talking about that
Okay.
mechanic and how it can easily be abused. But the thing is, everyone's gonna do that because everyone's always looking for the most meta thing. And if the game allows that to happen, people are gonna fall back and use that rather than playing right. You know, most players don't have morality to play right. They just want to like do good at the game. The game really has three major issues, but everyone will abuse every inch. Yep. What's up, Munch?
Just being a little like nitpicky. When you talk to like when you go to the other world and stuff, and it says like go to Snake Way, it's like kind of hard to read Snake Way if you're like looking at anything white.
Because it's a white ground. On the
Yeah,
same
text is
topic,
like a whitish gray.
I think this is actually not the same topic. It's sort of unrelated, but I want to get everyone's opinion on something. How does everyone feel about like the questing on Apollo, right? Would you guys want to see us double back and make the questing a little bit more than just get quest, fight enemy, finish quest? Would you guys want that to be expanded on and us go back and when I played Kakarot, I got really inspired to make the Z story greater than it is. Like I was like, wow, we missed quite a couple notable points. Like one, running Snake Way is something I feel like is kind of silly to not have. I feel like that'd be a fun little quest, and then you get TP for running Snake Way. Like once you get to King Kai's, you get an easy quest in catching bubbles or whatever it is. So that's your reward for it. I think that'd be really cool. Something like adding Snake Way, something like adding maybe the Snake Princess on the way, maybe. Stuff like that, going back and adding some more quests, inserting some new quests into the Z storyline, and then other storylines where possible. But I always kind of wonder, because I'm like, would players actually give a crap about that? Because, like, you know, we add MP3 quests, and everyone's like, that's cool, but, like, can we get endgame content? It's kind of what a lot of new things come down to. So it's like, is it worth the time on the questing team, the time on my side coding, the time on just many members of the team to go back and make this, basically go make new content for the old game that already exists to make Z better? Because it's an idea I've kind of bumped around in my head and thought about, but this was actually like 2 years ago. Like it was some time ago when I was playing Kakarot that I thought about this.
Yo.
So,
You're a Kojin, so you probably do be putting stuff into Will, right?
no.
Oh, okay. Because I haven't touched Will or I get I haven't touched Will or Energy.
You should probably stay one build. Hybrid is really rough.
Well, I was just trying to go. I mean, I'm trying to go pretty much like Strength, Dex, Con.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy to hear that. I feel like one thing I would say though, so I do want to give a little shout out to this right now. Eventually, probably after we do 1.2.7b patch, you know, like an official patch, and we officially close out MP3's development, and that's the end. We're moving on to combat. We're going to run a survey or maybe we do the survey before the patch so we can make these changes in the patch. But in the past, we've ran a survey for the 1.2 update, U6 update, and GT. We asked questions like, how do you feel about the gameplay balance? How do you feel about mastery? Just all these questions. And over time, we keep the scores. And it's really cool because we average out these scores. So we have an average score of like, hey, on average, people think the game, like we ask, how visually appealing is the game to you? The last time we did it in GT, we got an 8.5. And we've done character creation now. So I'm really excited personally to see what we get after this update. It's literally like our rating. It's cool, but it's community voted.
Question.
What's up?
Did you change like this? You guys changed like the scaling for everything, right? Like
Pretty
damages for
much. The whole
NPCs?
game had a rescale pass. Some things might have
So-
stayed similar, but like a lot of things would have changed.
Cause I was doing the Popo's training where you're in that little time thing. What the fuck this place is?
Yeah.
And I do not remember like going that way before. I remember getting my ass handed to me for like a little bit.
Yeah. I think the earlier game has definitely been a lot more easy in my experience on this podcast today. Definitely think we should make some adjustments. That we should shift some of the easy, basically raise the floor on the Saiyan Saga a little bit, because I really feel like I slipped right through the Saiyan Saga without even needing to do a single challenger, and that is a little much. It's a little too easy.
You should have to, but I think so far at least, I've only done like what 5 quests. They feel better because even though I kind of gone through them kind of quick last time, I remember it taking me at least it felt like an hour to like to get this.
Well,
I feel like I had to like.
I also would argue that in your first 8 quests of the Saiyan Saga, do you really want to get stuck and have to grind for 10-20 minutes?
No.
I feel like beating the first 8 quests of 200 and something quests on the server is sort of fair. But where it becomes a problem is Turles and Lord Slug are like... Turles is unlocked at 106 and is about Saiyan Saga scaling.
Yeah,
so
the event TP boost is also incredibly strong.
Yeah, I mean,
Like I
the
was
whole
saying,
game's
that
25% faster. So if the game, to me, the game doesn't feel 2 times too easy. It just feels like maybe 50% too easy. Maybe like slightly harder. But I would also damn near want to play when an event isn't active, which I'll get at some point when the event is off through the podcast. Back to the other topic of the quest stuff, though. Someone said, let me scroll up and read it. Seth, you said, well, people have already beaten the game, so what would be the likelihood of going back? What was the likelihood of you going back and getting racial state, right? It's the same question of any time we change anything early game. Our goal in the server is not always to be like, hey, here's new content for endgame. Here's new content for endgame. We always want to change the early game, but the questing thing is a different kind of topic. But the idea is usually we don't expect you guys to, but we encourage you guys to replay if you feel like it. You know, when an update comes out, is there an echo? Is there an echo for anyone?
Not that I hear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, sorry, train of thought. We kind of encourage you guys to go back and replay the game when exciting updates come out. But obviously, that's only if you want to. You know, if you don't genuinely care to replay and you don't care to go re-experience the game after a couple small changes, then that's fine. It's, you know, in that way, it's our job to make you guys encouraged to replay. It's our job to do something exciting that makes you want to replay the game, right? I would say, yeah, early game is much easier than 25%. The movie quests alone made that too much. Because I feel like if I didn't do Turles and Slug right now, I would be in I'd actually be grinding. I mean, I do need to grind for Namek, but that's why I'm doing Slug. It's like anytime you need to grind, and then you're just like, oh wait, this whole quest line exists that I haven't done yet. It's just a cop out of needing to grind. It's funny, Kat, because remember we made movie quests and PQ actually give reasonable TP now. Which ironically it definitely doesn't help the game being too easy, because now the movie quest is not only free TP, it's free on level TP, which basically means you have an entire another buffer of quests. I definitely think Saiyan Saga and Namek Saga are already, specifically Saiyan Saga, is already too much on the easy side, and I'd like to see us take a look at that. Probably for the patch. I don't know if it's really a rush to get it in and changed, but we'll see. I'll have more firm thoughts as I keep going. Right now, my thoughts are kind of vague. I plan on kind of taking a moment at the end of the podcast to think about it.
Personally, I think the events are the thing that needs to be taken a look at.
Well, what do you do? Not like drop the booster to... What would you suggest Spook Booster would be in that context then? If 25 is too high.
Maybe even like 15%.
You get to a point though where like the booster is just so low and it's almost barely doing anything. They have 50% TP boosters. They can pop it at free will. I don't think the early game feels 25% easier. The game feels multitudes easier than when I previously played. Mind you, I did early game... Actually, no. I did it in April. I did it in April with this scaling. Yeah, I feel like I'm just getting way too much TP. Like, I had, like, a surplus of TP that I wasn't even putting in. And yes, we've thought about adding the Cell or Bio-Android race. That's probably one of our next races we'll add. That's the highest on the list, but it's going to be a while. We're not in a rush to get a race in.
Yeah, going back to April, I also played then. And again, like, the difference was I went from needing to grind starting at Napa to I didn't step foot into challengers until Zarbon.
But I don't think that's the entire 25% boost to blame. I think, did we do MP3 content? I don't remember. I didn't do Turos until 108, though. I had already, like, I just did Saiyan Saga and didn't need challengers once. So it's specifically...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should have to, like, do them a little bit, but you shouldn't have to, like, obviously, like, grind them, I feel like.
Yeah, like, I don't want the Saiyan Saga to, like, kick you in the dick and make you stop in your tracks, but I also don't want you to literally just slip past every enemy. Because then for anyone that... Like, we want the game to be easy enough that someone who doesn't really know what they're doing can figure it out, but we also don't want it to be, like, a joke. Because, like, I've actually just been killing everything.
I'm about to fight Napa.
But, you know, okay, I could literally just code something that lets you, like, on the test server specifically, I could just go quickly make something that lets you just disable the TP boost. So you could just actually play 25%. It's not like beating Saiyan Saga would take more than 20 minutes, even if you needed to grind. So, like, you could just see if it feels drastically different, because I'm under the belief that the 25% isn't making the other world of difference. I think there's just too much TP in general for the early game. I think, you know, that's... I think we could leave the enemies perfectly the same and just adjust those first time rewards, because like you get 500 TP for free for making a character, and then the first quest gives you another 500 and you get 700, and it's just like, dude,
wait, you get 500 TP
for for character?
It's
just like you get a stupid you get a stupid amount of just free TP for actually breathing, and then yeah, it's 25% more, so that's not helping. But
wait,
I think it's just too much first-time TP, period, and that needs to be toned back for the beginning of the game. I can't. I'm already getting plateaued a little in Namek here.
Baby's first stimulus package.
%25 is 25%. That's kind of how math works.
Yeah, but 25% of 500 in the early part is like, what, 10 levels? 8-ish?
Well, the whole early game is just, that's where I'm like, we are just giving out too much TP. If we just gave out less TP, it'd be less of an issue.
Yo,
That's
question.
I'm looking at it. What's up?
If I see something wrong, but no one else caught it, should I still point it out?
Sure.
Yes?
What if it was something, well, what if it was like one of my work, though?
Oh, I mean, it depends how, it's kind of up to you at that point. If
you want to out yourself?
Think it's, I mean, if you think it's something that, like, needs to be improved, then sure.
Well, it was just like, I noticed it because I was looking for it.
Well, isn't that the epitome of us being the ones that made the things? That's the pain.
Yeah. Because I was just, like, looking at to make sure I didn't, like, miss anything. I'm like, oh, fuck, I missed that.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I was like, damn. I was thinking about, I'm like, damn, I could tell Lil and change it, but I'm like, I know damn well he's not going to put it into, like, the next update. So should I even really bring it up?
I could slip in a patch. Depends what it is.
It was the texturing for the like in the character creation, the buttons on the right side don't have, like, they just have like a brown back. They don't have like the little texture to them. That's why.
I think I've noticed that.
Oh well.
I just kind of didn't care, or maybe I did mention it and then you just didn't see it or whatever. But it's not really a huge deal. World will not burn.
I mean, that's true, but should always pay attention to small detail like that, because I believe that small things can always turn into like bigger things, or it's like you do something once and it's like, oh, it can happen somewhere else.
Slippery slope. We're almost at the 2-hour mark already on the podcast. What's up?
Why is Goku so tall? Because I made my character 5'4", and this motherfucker is actually, wait, no, he's not. He's 5'10". Never mind.
But you also don't have any of your con yet. You know, con still gives height.
Because I'm like waist height to Goku, and I'm like, yo.
Love it.
Little guy.
Little guy, bro. Munchkin's just a chill little guy.
Goku, he got fucked up. He need like a band-aid on his like forehead or something.
Mm-hmm.
Almost got fucked up by Vegeta. I accidentally fucking dropped to 0.
My thing with the scaling, though, is I believe, like, there's a point where rather than looking at rebalancing, and I'm not implying that you were saying this, but rather than the usual rescale where we're like, let's get the whole game, you know, let's do a whole pass. It's like, I actually think the scaling is far and beyond good enough at this point where, how do I word it? It's like, Quest 1 is relatively good compared to Quest 6 in that sense. Like, the progression, 0 to 100 is good. It's just, we dial up the TP cost a little. You know what I mean? Which I think is something we've spoke about anyway, but just generally, like, I don't think we should always target rescaling the entire game, because that's just really fucking time consuming. And, like, really, you know, when we could just, if Quest 1 is good compared to Quest 10, there's no point in constantly re-changing that and constantly upsetting that balance when we could just, I don't know, adjust things in a more broad sense. A lot of the gameplay for me feels like Punch Man in Quest until I get stuck and have to Punch Man in Challenger. No, I mean, that pretty much is the game. Yeah, you're not playing it wrong. That's damn near what it boils down to if you know, simplify everything. But yeah, my copium. Yeah, that's why the combat update's happening. But my copium to that is literally just, you can boil any game down to its simplicity and make it sound silly. But yes, it's Minecraft. The gameplay is boring. I'm not denying that. But I think it's just, I think there's an important balance, because back in, I actually think the early game when I previously played felt fine. Like, I'm not even talking about my April gameplay, my pre-release up gameplay. I'm talking about U6. The first podcast, last episode 1 basically. That actually felt fine. Like, I felt pretty good. You know, I get some levels. I felt good. I felt like I slipped through Saiyan Saga good. I had to grind a little, but then I slipped through it good. But now it just feels like I slipped like butter. And there was a TP booster when I was playing then as well. I'm pretty positive I was playing right when Spook came out, if I'm not mistaken. Let me actually go check the date on that, because now I'm curious. I'm pretty positive for much of the podcast there was an event, except for like random ones. Podcast started, no, September 4th. So there wasn't an event? Did I even play this day? That podcast VOD is messed up. Let me see podcast VOD 2. Yes, I was in the Saiyan Saga for this one. There was, God, the game looks like shit. Dude. Release 1.2.4. Wow. I don't think there was a TP booster at that point. Oh my gosh, Munch. Old TP textures. Wowzers.
Old TP textures. Oh, no, don't bring those up.
TP and Zenny, man.
Where you seen those at?
The old podcast back in September of 2021. Whew. Some days ago, I tell you. Yeah, the gameplay definitely gets a little boring after doing the same repetitive task again.
I'll be right back.
Damn, I got a lot of TP from those Ginyu quests. I got my first form, by the way, Rook. How about yourself?
I went through movie pack because it was a crazier boost than challengers.
Which movie pack? Holy shit, I'm
The
yellow in Metacore.
Slug.
Oh, Metacore doesn't color my exo on my head. That's stinky looking.
Oh.
You pretty much just have to play. Just go farm challengers is the only thing I could say. There's not some crazy efficient way that's hidden. Just play the game. As lackluster as the answer is, you just need to play the game. Second form, dude. Second form does such a good job of being subtly cool. You know, like just subtly a different form than first form, which is, I think, the epitome of all forms. I think every form should just feel slightly different than your base form, like the first one, like that. Like, it doesn't need to be insane. You know, this isn't like my god form. Now I just need to get more Zenny. Or actually, I need to farm tier 1 souls. How is that looking? Where about is that? Do I have anybody who drops T1 souls yet? Ooh, yes, I do. He's probably going to be a little strong for me, though, to be honest. Yeah, Spook doesn't have a storyline. No, it's not in the Spook shop. It's in the roll only. 7 quests because it simply just sucks for play. Yeah, the quests also just take way too much to set up, frankly. Like, way too annoying to have to reset the completion every year and blah, blah, blah. There's already plenty of quests. I don't think an event that gives more quests to do is really cool in my eyes. More of the gameplay you already do is like, eh. I'm gonna go get Dragon Balls so I can go get T1 souls. Yep, exactly what Kat said. What she said, upvote. Don't you me. Go back in Kaioken because I wanna build up my XP, and there's no point in me being in my form. I don't have passive XP and I never will. And the one thing that sucks about the Dragon Radar is it doesn't work if you don't load chunks, right? Like, you don't know where a Dragon Ball is if the chunk hasn't loaded. Why do enemies still drop TP gems if TP can be directly out of the player sheet? TP booster? That's why. Same reason for Zenny. Zenny could, in theory, be directly added to the menu. It'd take a little bit more work than the TP, but, you know, same deal. But yeah, it's a fragment of TP boosters. But, you know, one idea we've had for TP boosters that's quite interesting is changing TP boosters to be more orientated around kind of like a normal XP booster, where when the booster's active, because as you guys know, using TP boosters, most people know that the best way to do it is get a bunch of TP, then get your booster after having a lot of TP. So we've talked internally about switching TP boosters. I'd love to hear you guys' feedback on this. Switching TP boosters to be more like an XP booster from a lot of games, where you are getting more XP while it's active, so TP in this case. Basically, you get more drops from quests and challengers while that's active. Does that make sense? Opposed to boosting your TP gem input. And then we could also stop dropping TP gems, because why even do it at that point? I still think they drop. I think there's something cute about it. There's something endearing about that, but that's a different topic. Whether they drop or not.
Drop off the 30%.
The what now?
You know that 30% chance of extra TP that a lot of challengers have? That's when you get the gems.
Wouldn't
So
that
it
just
feels good
be-
because you rolled it.
Oh, and need like a visual cue. I see. Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Kat. Yeah, let me expand on that. So with that TP booster change, TP boosters would change from what they are now, where you just save up a bunch and then use it to use the booster and then go get TP. So their timers would drastically change. What Kat said there, where the 50%, let me just show on my screen. Hard up, I need a charge key. The 50% booster right now works in such a way that it only has a 5-minute timer. Because we're aware that everyone is just eating TP while it's active. So the timer is there. It's honestly completely arbitrary. These timers have not been touched since 1.0. So they're completely arbitrary. You know, one thing I like, this is totally random. So I love the idea of changing enemy drops. Instead of going straight to your inventory, they actually drop on the floor. And then on the floor, they can have a cute little hologram effect where, like, almost like a beacon coming out of them, just like slightly above them, like they look really cute on the ground. And those colors would probably correlate to what they are in the inventory. But then you'd probably also just auto pick them up so you don't miss any drops. But that's just me wanting to make the game extra pretty, speaking right there. There's no actual reason to do that beside it could be pretty. But yeah, the idea of the TP booster change is very interesting because I think the TP boosters, now that change isn't like, the intention isn't we want to nerf TP boosters, honestly. It's more just we want TP boosters to work like other games and not be so weird. Because right now they feel really gamey. It feels like, oh, save up as much TP as humanly possible, then pop your booster. I just feel like that's a little silly, to be frank. Is that Dragon Ball down there? Wait, what? Oh, it's up here. I'm blind. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on that, because, you know, I'm sure there will be some people who will be a little bit upset about that change if it does happen. Which is why I'd love to hear feedback on it. See what we can improve on it. One more Dragon Ball. I love achievements, man. I want to give them an interface so bad so that they are, because that would make them significantly better to use. Because right now the whole command, like, I know how to use the command obviously, but I'd imagine some random player probably struggles a little bit more than me with it. Saying, you know, I made the command. It's a little easier for me to remember that. Okay, T1 souls. Hello, Popo. Yes, I should save up Namekian balls because they get more. My autopilot almost had me getting Saiyan souls right there. Oh, yes, I get stronger as I put XP in. Beautiful, dude. I love this update on so many levels. I love this update. Easily, I mean, saying it's my favorite update is so obvious because, like, why wouldn't it be? Right? Like, it's obviously cooler than the last one. I was going to link the podcast, but the podcast is actually probably going to end in, like, 20 minutes or so. We'll see. Probably reaching its conclusion here. Chance. The idea of TP straight to the sheet with boosters increasing how much you get rather than incentivizing TP stacking to use it all at once. Yeah, it makes the game a lot less, like, cheesy. I don't know. That's just TP gems and boosters feel like it was such a 1.0 mechanic, to be honest with you. Like, that was such a early Apollo thing, and the only reason it's still there is because we just haven't changed it. This is that proposed change, you know? This is that overdue change in my eyes. How's your gaming going, Rook?
Finality, Frieza beat me.
Oh my gosh, you're on Frieza?
Yeah.
He's speedrunning. Someone stop him. He can't keep getting away with this.
Yes, I can.
No, you cannot. Feels a lot better to get stronger and stronger over time. They're getting huge spikes in strength from stacking again. Yeah, right? Yeah, actually, exactly. I totally agree with that. That's another, you know, I'm going to write that down on my thing about it because that's a great angle to view it in. Where the heck did I put that? There it is.
Yeah, I've learned that the hard way from anytime another game uses stuff like that. Like, it just doesn't feel great. I'm just like, well, Why'd I do that?
Feels better to get a constant
I feel like I
flow
robbed
of
myself.
TP you can spend rather than being forced to stack. And yeah, at that point you progress slower. Kind of like how it is now. Grinding and saving up to pop booster really adds to the experience. Honestly, right now my only issue is boosters is that there's too many, with it being the only. I think there's a part 2 to that message. I'll wait. Kind of like how it is now. Grinding, saving up. One thing I'd say about that, to immediately disagree with you on that, is that's just like dopamine speaking, right? Like saving up a bunch of TP and using it all at once and getting a billion TP is obviously going to feel better. But like short-term, long-term, where I feel like the long-term benefit of the XP booster, the more standard way of doing it that we're proposing, would end up feeling better more often rather than the one big mental payoff. You just get a constant payoff of constantly feeling good because you're just literally constant progressing rather than going like meh, just a big step. You're actually just going up an elevator or like an escalator.
Well, it's more like an escalator that keeps freezing every 30 seconds, and then it just goes really fast for 1 or 2, and then stops again, and then zoop.
No, that would be the stairs. The escalator was the example of the new booster.
Oh.
Yeah. I did for now. Thanks for dropping in, Apples.
Adios.
Some of these skins feel so out of place. Like Ginyu and Frieza First Form both just have such low res textures. It's funny.
No thanks. I don't want any.
He's the guy who makes the new textures. Already on the way back. Funny. Yeah, I don't really know how long to make the podcast go for. Like, I don't know. There's plenty to talk about. And the beauty of the podcast is I won't be doing another one for 2 weeks. So by the time we do the podcast again, there will be plenty more to talk about. Like, if this was like an every week thing, I feel like I'd actually run out of things to say. Really, the spikes would be perfect to be really predatory and prey on addiction if you want to make the game pay to win. Wait, what?
That's pretty much it.
Oh.
That's the basic psychology behind how it works.
That's interesting. It's funny because that was absolutely like not an intentional thing. Duh. It just kind of circumstantially happened. Like, you know, TP gems happened because they were in beta. So we're like, duh, we're going to do TP gems. And then we do them. And then we do TP boosters. And that was the best we could do it at the time. But now, of course, we could do it better. I think it's just one of those things. It's like it's an artifact of 1.0. What are some of the plans for melee combat for the combat update? I can imagine a whole bunch of changes for key, but I can't imagine how you change Minecraft melee combat. Well, it wouldn't be Minecraft melee combat anymore, right? You wouldn't just be running at your enemy going, punch, you know? Gotta go fast in the chat. I'd love to, if you can make a ticket, I'd love to work with you on that and see if there's anything I can fix for that. Because there might be some obvious thing that's just really laggy for your kind of graphics card or something of this sort that I'd love to try and see if I can do anything about it. Because even if you're on a really low spec machine, there's not really a reason that the game should be unplayably laggy. Like, it's a pretty low bar here. You know, this isn't a very intensive game. So I think there's an issue that can be solved there.
But as for how work into doing that,
yeah, a lot. As for how melee would change, honestly, just feel more like a real fighting game. We don't want it to feel like you're actually just playing some stupid like Roblox game where like even Roblox games have better combat than us. That's embarrassing. There's a lot of Roblox games with better fighting than us.
Pain.
But the fact that blocking, let me just explain a few things. Dex. The way defense is calculated is enemy damage minus your defense equals damage taken. That's shit. Like, that means basically if I have more defense than their damage, I take 0 damage. But if the next enemy deals 10,000 more damage, all of a sudden I'm taking 10,000 damage. It feels incredibly odd because you're just like stuttering and it's just Same problem. So did it work like the key menu with melee skills? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna add melee skills. Melee skills are just kind of, in theory, a lot of people suggest melee skills and they just sound like lazy key attacks. They just sound like a key attack that doesn't fire a key attack, but instead just does some damage. You know what I mean? Like if key attacks or if melee attacks are to exist, there has to be a little bit more to them than just key attack, but melee.
I think that's where the
yeah, I remember
visuals
you,
come into
Buffkip.
play there.
Right.
Yeah, Buffkip sounds familiar.
It was on Technic and then switched to Curse. I'm learning to work just fine since then. Yeah, Technic does some weird stuff that causes more lag than other launchers, but yeah, we're gonna try and get us on CurseForge in probably Combat Update. We're gonna try and actually have a official CurseForge mod pack that you just go and click download rather than having to import like you do right now. But that's a little while away, so you know, don't wait up too much on that one.
It can still be click to attack, but it doesn't have to be mash left click. It could be like timed combos or like charging, or what else is another one? Like fighting styles would be an example as well, where the attack speed goes down and the damage goes up. Like there's a bunch of simple things that you can do that drastically change it from.
And I'm obviously like oversimplifying by just saying we're gonna make it like not Minecraft, because yeah, it's hard to not just. I'm not saying you're not gonna left click to attack. You're still gonna left click to attack. You do that in like every fighting game. It's just there's a big difference between Xenoverse and Dragon Block C, right? And Xenoverse isn't a game you'd particularly say has great combat. Xenoverse is pretty low bar, but we're not even close to Xenoverse because all you don't even fucking fly in the fights. The enemies walk, for God's sake. The enemies can't even dodge. The enemies can't even charge key. The enemies can't do anything. They're actually just a walking punching bag that punches back. Even on the topic, and I'm not like angry, I'm just getting passionate about it. But even on the topic of just make the damn enemies fly, I think even making the enemy AI exist would already go a long way in making the game feel better. It might not even all be about player changes. Because if the enemy could fly and dodge and maybe flash step around, which would be something players would also get in that context, I think that would already go an incredible way in making the game feel better in fighting. Because right now the enemy is actually just walking at me and punching, and I'm just walking around him like an idiot. And he's just like, huh? He's just turning around trying to look at me right now. Like, it's silly. No, you're good. I totally get that. I don't know. That's why it's our job to pitch good ideas and hope that you guys like our ideas, and then we can work off it from there. Currently just have Technic install the files from a folder and then just happen to coincide with the Curse profile. You can also just import. We literally give a CurseForge import that you could do that will actually just give you the files and save you some time there. Well, I guess not really save you some time. What you're doing is actually quite smart. Yeah, I think enemy AI is actually a pretty huge change in terms of like the game feeling better, because right now the enemy AI doesn't exist. This is actually just a Minecraft zombie walking at me. And Custom NPCs, the mod itself already has some cool stuff. Like Custom NPCs mod already has flying enemies. We just haven't used them because we've been waiting. So that's a funny thing.
So like stuff like damaging lava pillars on the Frieza final fight, for example, would be really cool. Like the environment can be a part of the fight.
Yeah, and like they actually hurt, even though like lava doesn't really hurt. They, it could be a thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I don't know, man. The ceiling. There's not really a ceiling for how crazy we're gonna get here. The fundamental idea is we want to keep the game playable for everyone who likes it as it is. That's my fundamental like pitch here. I want the game to still be playable the way you play it right now, because this isn't a new game. This is Dragon Block Apollo Combat Update. It's still Dragon Block Apollo, so we don't want to just push everyone away because they don't want, we're gonna raise the skill ceiling is the idea, not raise the floor and force you to come with us. Ideally, most people adapt to the new gameplay, but we want to leave the old one in place just in case people, you know, are not. I mean, there's people who immediately with quick selection, they're like, because there's gripes with quick selection, but then there's also people who are just like, I just preferred the old one, man, and that's it. Like, there's not a reason. They just were used to the old one, didn't really want to learn the new one, and that's fair. Humans are funny like that, you know. I'm the same way. There's things I don't care to learn. I'm just extremely biased here because this is, you know, my game, so of course I'm gonna be more incentivized to whatever. You don't want to repeat Minecraft 1.9. I mean, it's really easy to not do Minecraft combat like the way they did that change. Just don't have dipshits working on your team that don't actually know what the game plays like. I don't know how Minecraft, but also thinking about Minecraft combat going from 1.8 to that, or 1.7 to 1.8, I think it was. Either way, like, forcing the change was weird, but then also
already the fact that spam clicking went from doing something to just doing nothing was already a sign that that's like they didn't have to do that. They could have made charge attacks.
they actually just made the
damage.
old. They decreased your DPS if you don't do the new way. You needed to do the new one,
Like,
and that's why like I don't let. Go ahead.
Instead of rewarding using the new mechanic, they punished using the old mechanic, and that's why it didn't go over well.
Yeah, honestly, Plastic, we were aware of that. That was pointed out really quick. And, well, Mojang's actually just a punching dummy. But the combat update change was one of their particularly bad changes. It's pretty objectively bad. They took away the way everyone played the game before and forced you to play a new way. That's just pretty inherently bad for, like, every game. Especially when the creative vision that was being forced on you was actually just lame. Like, it actually wasn't exciting.
I'm back.
Like, I do like the new
Wait one
combat.
second. Go ahead.
Who's waiting?
You. Go ahead.
Oh. I do like the new combat, but, like, I was just stating the reason it didn't go over well.
Yeah. I personally see it, like, as a pretty objective fact. Like, what happened was pretty simple. They made bad change and forced it on you. If it was a bad change and they didn't force it, you could have just shrugged it off. Like, when they add something you don't give a shit about, like, you're just like, okay. You don't care about some of the mobs they added, just don't play that version or just ignore those mobs. I mean, most of Minecraft's changes, excuse me, tend to be very passive, like, very not doing anything for the game. Which, perhaps the combat update's reception was part of the reason they started being
right there.
What?
They do a lot of nothing for the game.
I mean, you could skip like 4 years of updates and still. I mean, Minecraft, they have like it's kind of fundamentally they're pigeonholed into being the same game forever because you don't actually really want Minecraft to be different when you log in a year later. You want it to still be Minecraft. We have the liberty of we don't really care about that, and we're already trying to not just be Minecraft. So we in fact have the opposite goal. We don't have Microsoft breathing down our neck telling us to keep the game similar enough so people don't get mad.
I mean, it definitely needs to be similar enough for you to not just want to, like, make a whole nother game, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
it gets to a point where, like, if I'm doing that, why not just, you know.
Like, I think there's a point to where it's like you put so much work into making, like, this ultimate, like, Minecraft mod. It's kind of like, maybe you should have put the effort towards, like, a natural game because, like,
there's definitely a point where you cross the line on that, and it's like, you know, could have put that effort in other directions. I agree on that.
Because I understand. I feel like with, like, at least, like, some, like, modders, usually they would, like, stick with Minecraft because they can get, like, a quick buck. You know, start the little Patreon or whatever and, like, get someone to get some people donating money to you and then, like, never, like, release shit.
Right.
But, I mean, like in the long term, I feel like putting all the effort towards an actual game would be better.
Right.
But
first-person animations are really weird because it's really difficult to balance that.
The thing, I think, the place where a lot of animations fall, but when they have first and third person, is they make one animation and they just assume that first person is going to look as good as it does in third person when they're using an animation designed for third person. Like, our fists don't start in the same spot, for example. So in a first person thing, we would want to have the fist rotate and go forward for a generic punch and then put some line effects as an example. But in third person, you want to have the whole body rotating and actually throwing the punch. And those things won't look good in first person.
Yeah, it's rough. Like animations are a rough thing, especially when you start getting into that. First person specifically is rough.
Don't get me wrong though, there are obviously some mods I'm looking forward to.
I think there's a lot of I've been surprised. I've been playing all the mods 9 lately, and there's like, because I'm someone who like really only played a lot of modded Minecraft back in like the 1.7 era. So coming into 1.20 modding and seeing how some of these mods have just like taken, you know, metaphorically taken the bull by the horns and started going a lot harder on the making crazy shit that you wouldn't expect in Minecraft. That's something I have big respect for, because, you know, breaking out of the mold of mod that adds new items, ores, and blocks. It's like, I feel like that was where mods for me started being like, oh, this is lame. So I'm really excited whenever I get a mod that doesn't do that. And wow, I look like I am being blinded by the light of God on my on the webcam. All white HTC. How far are you in the game, by the way, Much?
I'm at 8 Vegeta because I just got back. But what I was saying earlier was because I saw this one anime fighting mod where they had swords and shit, and like, bro, the animations in it actually look kind of nice. Like, they didn't look like they were like, they looked like they were still Minecraft, but like actually nice.
Yeah.
Like, the effects for them and shit was good too. I don't know
like,
if it's out yet.
I think combat animations are sick. Like, generally making, like, I don't know, like, elevating Minecraft beyond just Minecraft, especially when you have a damn fighting mod, like an anime fighting mod where combat is the focus, like DBC. And player animations kind of just are natural. Like, I feel like they make a lot of sense, because even if the gameplay was the exact same, imagine your character's animated. Like, that would already elevate it quite a lot in my eyes. More requests. What'd you say there? Is that the question?
What?
Also, I just realized I could have been playing music in my ear this whole time. I set up the audio like that for a reason. I've been just sitting here. It's probably easier to talk, though, if I'm not listening to music, because then I get, like, distracted by the music. At least for me. Also, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like, I'm into HTC now, and these pop-up texts are, like, impossible to read, because it's all white here. Sarcasm, but
like,
would the Zenny conversion bot be able to auto-deposit money instead of giving it back? I mean, that's just getting into the same, like, being all digital thing, which maybe at a point we honestly going all digital is Zenny going all digital would require all of the traders to actually accept digital currency for that to make sense, because all of the traders only accept physical right now. You actually don't use digital Zenny for like anything except storing it. So like,
I think that was the point.
That would require a lot of change, though, but it would be a cool idea. But if you're condensing Zenny, yeah, it probably realistically should be deposited. I can see where you're coming from. And I'd probably do that and then just let them have a toggle. You know? Like, just, if you don't like it, just go ahead and flip it off.
I don't like it, don't do it.
Pretty much. Do I have any patroller quests yet, I wonder? Probably not.
Well, if I didn't have fucking potions right there, or Vita drinks, I would have died.
Better be thinking about those new textures, mister. Not really. I genuinely have no idea what they'd even look at.
Not about to be Vita drinks anymore.
You want to change them to something completely different?
I mean,
I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, they're just stolen Kakarot items right now. At the very least, we could make them the same, and just like, I'd be fine with them being Vita drinks and heal aids, but I just think like Fighter Drinks key simulants and stuff, we at least need to make our own textures. Because them being shamelessly Kakarot rips is just embarrassing, right? Like, you're an item texture guy. The fact that we have ripped item textures from a game is just silly.
Hey, good thing they went from me though.
Yeah, no, that was like 1.0. We just haven't got a chance to remake them yet.
Hey, I will be honest though. Them old keys, them bitches, they weren't straight ripped, but like, they definitely weren't mine.
Well, that's why we remake things.
Who did that?
I think we have a really cohesive aesthetic right now. Like, looking at my inventory, outside of like the healing items, and even then, they're okay. Literally, all you'd have to do is redraw them and pretty them up, because they look bad because they were high res, down resed, and they look badly pixelated. Like, they got badly rasterized, what it's called. So,
Nah, I think we can make cooler.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good back crack I just did. Ooh.
Yo, so can I ask you a little life question?
Sure.
Are you still going on that trip?
Hmm?
Are you still going on that trip like next year or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. I was curious because I wasn't sure, you know, because how like other things were going and stuff. I wasn't sure if y'all was still like going on that or not.
Yeah, we are.
Bro.
Take a break from my busy work schedule, my 80-hour-a-week job. Take a vacation.
Well, last time you took a vacation was what, probably like a couple years ago at least?
No, it was actually earlier this year.
Oh, well. Try to make it like, you know, make it seem like you really need the break, but
I mean, one break in 2 years still means needs a break.
Are you fucking clicking, Rook?
Yeah. Time to die.
Yo, no wonder you have arthritis, buddy. It's not my game's fault. That's you.
It's the game's fault. Each one of those is a damage tick.
No, not really.
Yep.
Not how the combat works. No.
I'm pacing myself. It is how the combat works.
No.
I'm frame waiting.
What? He's just making shit up. I think we should end at 45. 2 hour, 45-minute stream. That's cool.
And then for the next podcast.
My next trick.
Nothing. I won't be here. See ya.
Yeah, literally. You're gonna vanish. It's a magic trick. You better be doing some off-camera grinding, man, so I don't get too far ahead of you. What's up?
Is there? I mean, and that's just part of like the aesthetic of it. But would it not be a way? Like, would there not be a way for you to just like auto unlock forms for people instead of having to go and talk to someone?
Oh yeah, it's just an old system that hasn't been changed yet. Literally.
Okay.
We want to make the form unlock have a little bit more of a process. Like, I like the idea of talking. Ooh, I almost just died. I like the idea of talking to an NPC, but I don't like the idea of. Yeah, Rick, we should fight at the end of the stream.
Honestly, you know what would also be kind of cool?
What's up?
If like you had some like, I mean, I guess maybe it wouldn't make it more tedious, but like instead of just talking to someone, if you also had to like do something rather.
Yeah, no, that was what I was about to say. Like, I think that'd be a really fucking cool idea to actually incentivize you to like do something rather than just speak to Lil and you just had Super Saiyan now. Like, that's
would be kind of a rip from other games. But like an example would be like fighting like yourself, but like in that form. Might be kind of fun because like that might be kind of hard, but like
maybe for a form it makes sense.
Like you fight, you know, your first form.
Well, I think mind training could be cool in general, but animation cutscene for forms would be cool. We already have that for racial states. Just, you know, it's new on racial states and it will eventually be on other forms. I think it'd be really cool if every form retroactively started getting animations. They could be unique for each form. Someone said something in chat.
Bro, am I like... Oh, I'm right here.
I should touch up Android 21 eyes and add them.
Your work, what you think?
I don't think. That's outside my pay grade.
It's crazy.
I like it. Picasso.
No, the shirt looks nice. I think you're missing some pants though.
No,
Where you
I
guys
don't
at?
need it.
Oh, you guys are at forms.
Can't wait to have emotes. And start emoting and shit. Damn, bro, I'm actually small. Holy fuck.
Dude, come to warp forms. I'm gonna suplex your shit. I'm also in second form. There you go. Now on your level, little guy.
I'm actually taller than you. Like by like 1 pixel. Bro, you better lower back down.
Your shot for every issue that's been mentioned is artifact from 1.0. I mean, that's most of them. As much as we change so much shit, because there's so much to change, right? Like, forms are genuinely just something that hasn't been changed. Literally, outside of the form scaling, the unlocks have just been moved around. They have fundamentally been the
You really
same
gotta
since
show off right
1.0.
now, Rook.
The only ones we've changed is racial states work different, primal, and god. So tier 1, 2, 3, you know, your first unlocks in primal mode are all just boring. But I think they'd be really cool if you actually had something to do.
I think mine's pretty cool.
Hold up, bro. I'm happy primal modes actually look a little bit more interesting now because they used to be pretty just boring.
Rook kind of looks like, you know, actually, let me not say that with live stream.
Looks cool.
Yeah, he looks cool.
I think human primal mode is the coolest one easily. I mean, Ozaru's got Ozaru going for it, but
Big monkey.
well, you guys want to go fight? Scrap?
No, thank you.
Bro's scared. Running.
Oh.
Tail between his
You
legs.
see me, bro? Look, bro, you know you can see my power level. You know it's weak as fuck right now.
All
Bro.
right,
You know
but,
I get dropped.
We don't have
Don't use
scatters. I can't see your
forms.
power level.
What's that shit about? Oh, that's your health. My bad.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, bro, you guys are gonna fucking drop me. I was like, bro,
Dude, adding
Only
scatters
use
back would
base
be
racial.
so sick.
I
it would
can't
be
hold
like that
forms.
one game we played. Like scouters, I feel like should be like you use like at least.
Oh
for, like,
yeah, I
low level
remember.
shit.
The Budokai one.
Yeah. That shit though, them bitches were hard to get,
Oh yeah.
All right, let me put
and
my
to get the
gloves
best
on.
one, they were like expensive.
He said put his gloves on. Look at that. Can you block real quick? I want to see the inside of your hands.
Why?
Your mitts.
That's
Put your
weird.
mitts out.
Oh,
What are you, Frankie?
no, I'm a pumpkin. Can't you tell?
All right. Let's go scrap, and then we can close out the podcast, boys. I think scouters should be added at a point. I don't know if we will, though.
Like, you mean like NPCs or do you mean each other?
We're fighting each other.
Oh. Can I spectate?
Aw.
No, come on. You're getting laid out this time.
Getting laid
Where do I
out.
go?
Warp PvP.
Yeah.
I think you're actually stronger. Here, let me put in my last points here. You did more
Good point.
off-camera grinding than me, though. Oh, no. Don't. No, no, no. Don't put your points in.
Can we do like a 1v2?
Yeah, you against us?
Yeah, can you put me in creative real quick though?
Wait, oh yeah, you have a halo too. Look at us. We all have special halos. Yay. Remember when they didn't work? Like for all up until this update, you could only like the first halo you render, they'd all be that color.
Yeah.
That was
Remember
nice.
back when they were like less pixels and like, you know, square?
Yeah, they were literally a square. Look at look at them. They have a little fucking animation. They're so cute.
Do they rotate or they just go up and down? Okay,
They
go
just
up and down. I
bob
thought
a
they
little.
rotated.
It'd be really cool if you move side to side and they kind of like move with you.
You know what I really want?
What?
I really want my crown back. Isn't it
You don't have it
slash
anymore?
like
Flash cosmetic
What's it-
toggle anniversary crown. ANV crown.
AMB crown?
Yeah, ANV.
Alright. Oh,
Yeah,
A and B.
Ready to
Alright,
scrap
watch you
buster.
guys fight.
I blocked, but I wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, blocking is so stupid, dude. It just raises your defense.
What?
Oh god, the flight animation you're stuck in is hilarious. Look at this riveting gameplay. Oh no. Yo, bro, take this 67 damage.
Punchy.
This
This
looks
is so aggressive.
Dude,
with
it looks.
Minecraft, dude.
Look at you. Wait, let me turn on dynamic play and it will look even worse for me. Is it doing it for me? Wait, oh yeah, we're both just flying. Well, yeah, I've been running the server for 6 years now. It's a big old passion. I love this. Cell, you said you showed me true Saiyan power, but all that you've done is pump up your little muscles, and now there's nothing special about that. I think that was him saying that to Vegeta. I remember Vegeta cried about that.
I just killed him.
Oh, it's okay. That was a close fight until he had half health and I didn't. It was because of that damn key blast I fired, dude.
Dexterity
figure.
only holds you back.
Oh my gosh. Do you actually yo, post your stats in chat. Post stats. Alright, so I'm a balanced brawler. Oh my god, what is wrong with you? We're so close in level, that's neat. I can't believe I lost to this build.
In a world.
I actually think it'd be kind of funny if in the combat update like trailer we include a before and
This
after.
is your brain on.
I
So at
don't
the end of
actually.
every episode.
Mhm.
My bad. Continue first.
I don't think we actually need to include like a before and after for the thing because like everyone knows what Minecraft combat looks like and most people know what DBC combat looks like. What are you saying, Much?
Irrelevant.
Okay. Dude.
Oh, my bad.
What? What?
Are you gonna fight at the end of every episode?
Maybe. If we think we've made some good progress. That was a good podcast though, boys. Good 2 hours 45 minutes. Technically 3 hours 15 because we started 30 minutes before.
Or how far have y'all gone?
I'm stuck on Cataclysm.
Yep, me too. I haven't even tried it yet. I beat Finality and I haven't tried Cataclysm, so yes.
215, right?
Yes.
Damn, let's go. I got ranked designer. Woo.
Alrighty, gamers. Thank you all for showing up. We will be back. But I will be back on December 21st for another podcast. And then January 4th after that. So it's going to be every 2 weeks. Give you guys some time to chill in between. You know, I think a weekly one is a little silly. I don't think there's that much demand. But give you guys 2 weeks. We'll be back. Hopefully see you guys here. Thank you all for chatting. This was amazing turnout. I appreciate you all for coming out today. Thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all around. Enjoy Spook Event. Have fun playing.